You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
After a highly entertaining Game 1, we are just moments away from Game 2 of the doubleheader between Ball State and Toledo. It is still opening day here in Muncie, Indiana. My name is Maxwell Gillie. Thrilled to be joined once again by Roen, Elbert, and Roen. Man, oh man, Game 1 here was a really exciting one.
And that's to say the very least. So many lead changes, and for the Cardinals, all in all, so many great players going yard. You saw McKenna Mulholland leave the yard, Michaela Timmons, Caitlin Gibson. All in all, Ball State with the power, it was certainly there. And I have to say, the Cardinals showed their resilience in Game 1, and it's going to benefit them throughout the rest of this season.
And right before we get this one started, what about Toledo? What are some of the things you learned in Game 1 about the Rockets?
I learned that Eli Enriquez is one heck of a player. Had not played since February 15th. She enters the lineup, and now Enriquez comes in, goes 2 for 3 with a walk. I have to say, Enriquez at the shortstop position really proved her worth for Toledo, and the fact that they're getting her down the stretch is huge.
And not really many changes for either of these teams except for the pitchers. For Ball State, it will be Brianna Severino set to pitch for the Cardinals. Has a 4.32 ERA, 2-6 on the year. Meanwhile, for Toledo, Kylie Graham, she's going to be the one there for the Rockets. So, it was an exciting one, 13-8. You see the aforementioned Eli Enriquez getting ready to go. And our umpires here today, Mark Danucci, David Scott Jr., and Jason Booth. And at 4:28 here on Friday, March 21st, we are officially ready to go here for Game 2 of this doubleheader. And it was a great one earlier. It'll be even more exciting this time by. And if you enjoy it, guess what? We got another installation tomorrow. So, if you are just now joining us, Eli Enriquez starts this one off first, the Sacramento, California native, batting on the left side. Severino set to pitch. Here we go. And that is quickly a ball one.
And right on the outside, trying to frame it up on Enriquez early. Good framework, but just not good enough.
Let's see pitch number 2 now for Severino. And that one is fouled at the bullpen. There's needs to be a heads-up play there.
Yeah, you know, I still have my hopes up that I could go after a foul ball. It could happen. You never know.
We got today, and you got tomorrow for that as well. Enriquez came into this one batting .536. Another foul, this time on the fence right in front of the dugout.
And now for Enriquez, coming off of her second season as a Rocket, coming from Sierra College. What she's done in her 2 years here in Toledo has been great. Last season, All-MAC tournament team, among a myriad of accomplishments so far in her collegiate career.
Severino, 1-2 count, as there's a foul once more by Enriquez.
And it's really dangerous with the top of the Toledo order. You have Enriquez, then Griffith, then Vanderlucht, all through 1 through 3. And that's not to mention even the freshman duo in the cleanup spot and the 5th.
Let's see what Severino does this time by. 1-2 count. That one is low. So that'll be 2-2 your count there. That's the call from the umpire in Mark Danucci.
And look at that wind blowing softly out to the left. Again, that is very hitter friendly.
That is what the Rockets need to do. There is another foul. Tips up to the left. Third base umpire calls time. Having a conversation with Severino. And 3-2 is the call now from the umpire, I guess. Making sure that the scoreboard system is accurate. Maybe what was going on. Either way, there's a meeting of the minds now at the mound as Helen Pena having a conversation with Jason Booth.
And now here in a 2-2 count, it's been a fight. It's been a dog fight early in the very first at-bat of the game for Severino. Hopefully for her end, it's not a preview of things to come. However, Enriquez is not making it look easy.
We are back in the action now. We still see Enriquez, first batter of game 2. She will hit it down left center, and it is a foul ball once more. You know, it's 200 to left field. That one went about 210.
That's exactly what it was right there. Had it been fair, we could have started off 1-0 potentially.
Watch out for the speed of Enriquez. That's one of the biggest advantages she brings to the Rockets outside of her great batting average. There's another hit to left and another foul. And once again, we are still on the first batter at the top of the first for the Toledo Rockets in their navy uniforms. Yellow numbered, yellow trim, yellow socks. Meanwhile, Ball State, red socks, white uniforms, red trim and numbers. Severino the pitch. There is Enriquez to left field, and Kara Gunter gets her hands on that and sends the first Rocket packing.
Really good diving effort from Kara Gunter out and left to get that first out. Crucial out for the Cardinals. And now you move over to Griffith, but to get that first out over a great hitter like Enriquez, great start for Severino.
Griffith batting .359 on the year out of Ashtabula, Ohio. And first team All-MAC gets to strike her first time by. And Sydney Griffith, you know, coming in here, she was thought to be one of the players to watch out for. Still played very well. But again, Enriquez was, I'd say, the Rocket that probably most surprised the two of us here.
Yes.
0-1 is the count with a single out. Griffith. She will get a low hit, and she's able to run to first. It taps it up in the air right in front of the catcher in Timmons. And she tried to get a run there, and the officials make the right call. They say that that was foul.
0-2 our count now on Griffith, who I like to say yesterday, I'm not used to these double headers. 2 for 4 in the last game.
See what she can do this time by 0-2 your count with a single out. Griffith, she will foul it right into the bullpen once more. And both of these teams have active bullpens, didn't really use them. Do you anticipate to maybe see more bullpen action here for game 2?
I would say so. Maybe more on the Toledo end than the Cardinal end.
There is Severino. The pitch to shortstop. It is to first and gone. Peterzak able to throw it to Gibson. That's going to send Griffith out. And considering Peterzak had some errors earlier, she has to feel good about getting that ground ball to first.
Yes, I mean, it's a routine play, but when you're struggling fielding-wise, a routine play is everything for you.
Kendra Vanderlucht is up next. She will foul it right on top of the Toledo dugout. Vanderlucht out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, a 5'4" senior, comes into this one batting .292.
What I find interesting is all of these Toledo hitters, whether they're lefties or righties, they're hitting into opposite field.
It's hit down the second base line, and that is going to end it from second to first. That was a great play from Mulholland to Gibson, and that's going to retire the top of the first. So it was the hit into left field, caught by Gunter. Peterzak to Gibson, sends out Griffith, and Vanderlucht gets thrown out from Mulholland to Gibson. So early on, what were your thoughts, Roen?
I would say overall the Cardinals infield looked a lot more in sync than they did in game one. Not to say they weren't, but it looked like they were hitting on all cylinders. They were firing on all cylinders. A really good showing.
Thought we were done.
We were.
But the umpires have called a ball, and now it is 1-1.
Yeah, the music hit, everything hit. Everyone went back to the dugout, but then they were like, no, you got to go back.
We're still live here. It's 1-1, the call for Kendra Vanderlucht. Even the Cardinals were walking off. We're back in the actions. Good thing we didn't go to break. Kendra Vanderlucht, 1-1 to count. Swing and a miss. That one is for sure a strike.
Well, now all you got to do here is for Bree Severiano, you got to get the out yourself.
And she would love to do so after what was a difficult first inning in the first game. A 3-and-out would be really nice for the Cardinals. That was low and makes it 2-2 the count. Again, if you're just now joining us, this is game 2 of a doubleheader. It was a thrilling 13-8 victory for Ball State in game number 1. We're here for game number 2, top of the first, 2 outs. There is the hit. It goes to right center field, and Vanderlucht, she is able to get the hit to first base. 3 Cardinals wanted to handle it in Urban, Weaver, and Mulholland. Goes between all 3 of them, and that sends Vanderlucht to the line. Here comes Audrey Miller. Coming up next, wearing number 11. Miller out of Hartville, Ohio. Severino the pitch. And that is hit to third. And that's going to be the end of this one. As Loth will heave it to Gibson. That'll officially retire the top of the first. And we are waiting to see if there are any changes. Everyone is off. Umpires.
I think we're good.
Umpires have said we're good. All right, Roen. Now, let's focus on Ball State's offense. What do the Cardinals need to do to replicate that success they had in game number 1?
Look, I know the wind is very hitter-friendly out to left field. That's going to benefit them, but you don't need a bunch of home runs like they did. I think, honestly, all you need, and it was kind of a byproduct of all of those home runs in game 1, you need timely hitting. Timely hitting is where it's at. No runners left on base. And then the Cardinals, if they can do that, that is a recipe for success, trying to get the clean sweep of the doubleheader and going into a game 3 tomorrow against Toledo right here at 1 o'clock.
So pitching for the Rockets now is Kylie Graham, a 5'10 senior left-hand pitcher out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. She's 2-6 on the year, as you mentioned. 4.32 ERA in 47 innings. And she has had 29 earned runs. And the batting order, first 3 for the Cardinals: Maya Peterzak, Michaela Timmons, and Ella Whitney. Last time by, we saw Michaela Timmons get walked every time. We'll have to see if that happens, but for now it's Maya Peterzak, who, no fear in that in the sophomore, she's still home twice. Her first time by. Comes in batting .364. And the Chicago, Illinois native. Here's the first pitch. That one skips low. So again, that is Kylie Graham at the circle for the Rockets. Ball 1 is the call, so 1-0. Bottom of the first. Last time by, the Rockets scored 3, this time 0. Maya Peterzak gets the strike.
And barely able to bite it on the inside part of the zone. Peterzak had a heck of a day in the last game. She went 2 for 4, 2 RBIs. What a day for her. And you know you can't leave anything down the middle.
There is a low pitch once more, sent to the way of Peterzak. 2-1 the call. It was down to the far right. So again, this is Kylie Graham pitching for the Rockets against Peterzak. Peterzak will bunt. She will sprint her way to first, and that is an easy way to make your way to first. Coming up next, wearing number 4. Hold on.
Yeah,
Officials
just
call
went
it
foul.
It felt a little too easy.
A
Clearly it
little
was.
too easy, yes.
2-2 your call by the umpire. This is not going foul. That one is going to left field. Samantha Bolding, the left fielder, able to get the catch. So that'll send Peterzak back to the bench. And here comes Michaela Timmons now. Boy, was she impressive. First at bat, what does she do? Well, let's just have ourselves a home run. She bats .508 on the year.
Yeah, and not only that, upping that on-base percentage, which is 3rd in the nation, with all 5 plate appearances, getting aboard with 4 walks and a home run in Game 1.
Here's the pitch from Graham, far out to the right, and this is going to be the strategy we will for sure see probably the rest of this game for the Rockets. Ball 1, far out to the right. Makes that an easy call for our umpire. Here is pitch number 2 from Graham. Again, skips it down to the right.
Timmons coming all the way from Lithia, Florida. I don't think anybody knew the impact she would make on this program coming out of high school.
She's definitely been impressive. There's another ball, once again, down the right corner, 3-0. And I mean, she nearly leads every category. She's on a 16-game hitting streak. MAC Player of the Week earlier this year. And she will get walked.
Yeah, a 4-pitch walk yet again. As a matter of fact, 4 of her walks in the last game, 3 of them were 4-pitch walks. That's one way of, hey, let's intentionally walk her. I feel like these are intentional walks on the end of Timmons.
Here comes Ella Whitney now out of Martinsville, Indiana. She bats 3rd. Here comes Kylie Graham. That one skipped down. And if you were tuning in earlier, you of course remember Ella Whitney. She was the pitcher, had a complete game, gets the victory, her 11th on the year against Toledo out of Martinsville, Indiana. Transfer out of FIU. And she will hit it down from 3rd base. And Timmons gets the out there. So Ella Whitney able to make it the first. Timmons tries to run away to 2nd. Ultimately gets taken out. So 2 outs right now. And here comes Kara Gunter right now.
Your left fielder, number 5, Kara Gunter.
And she may not have had the impressive performances like the home runs at Timmons or Mulholland. But man, Gunter had some big moments. Game 1. Skip down. Strike 1.
And she did go 0 for 4 in Game 1. However, in the field, she made a lot of great plays that really boosted the impact on her team.
Swing and a miss. And that goes right into your catcher for the Rockets in Barbado. A little worse for wear is Barbado.
Yeah, that got her on the backswing, it appears. It wasn't the foul contact. It looked like the backswing just nailed her right on the catcher's mask. She's down on one knee being attended to by her head coach in Jessica Bracamonte. Hopefully everything's all right there. but I do want to give my take on Michaela Timmons and all of these 4-pitch walks, all of these intentional walks on her end. I get the approach from Bracamonte and the Rockets. I totally get it. You don't want to leave anything down the middle for her. But at the same time, I think it would be a good confidence booster for your team and for your pitchers as well to be like, hey, we're not afraid of her. Let's give her something. Maybe nothing over the middle, but let's try and paint the zone around her at least. Give even a few competitive pitches her way, but everything all right with Bracamonte. She's back up and ready to go for the Rockets.
So again, 0-2 is the current count with 2 outs. Again, this is Kara Gunter. Everyone's okay. Graham and Barbado, all fine. Holland up next. Let's see, Gunter 0 for 2 is this call, and well, that's going to be an easy strike 3. So, at the end of the first, it is 0-all. Here from Ball State University is Toledo Ball State. Game 2 of this doubleheader, get ready. We got more action coming up next here. Sports Link Digital presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptoninn.com. At munciesweets.hamptoninn.com.
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
From Ball State University, it is Ball State softball. Again, Toledo versus Ball State. Game 1 goes in favor of the Cardinals. Game 2 currently tied 0-0 as we start the top of the second. It'll be Audrey Miller, Samantha Bolding. There's Barbado coming up next. So right now, we actually see Samantha Bolding in for the Rockets.
Yeah, and Bolding, the freshman who has had quite this season for Toledo. Back in game 1 earlier today, she went 1 for 3.
Let's see what Severino can bring this time by. It's going to be called a ball.
And Bolding in place of Enriquez, and that she's been playing shortstop in place of Enriquez all season, but now finally getting a bit of a break in a sense going out to left field.
1-0 the count. Here is pitch number 2, wide right. Easy call there, ball 2.
Yep, in and out of the glove of Michaela Timmons, the catcher for the Cardinals on the day, but still nonetheless, when it's the leadoff hitter, you can afford to have a blunder or two right there. No harm, no foul, other than in the count.
So again, 2-0 the count. Severino the pitch to Samantha Bolding. Freshman. Bolding fouls that one 2-1. And Bolding out of Greenfield, Indiana, attended Eastern Hancock High School, and it's no stranger seeing players getting high school career records, but I mean, when you can lead your school in home runs, that has to feel good heading to the Division I level. As there is a ball called by, or umpired, 3-1. So again, that was just outside the strike zone.
Again, a lot of people, they go to high school, they play the game for 4 years, and then they're done. It has to be great knowing you accomplished so much, and then there's more to it after.
And this is going to be hit, missed by Peters. That goes to center field. That's Bolding able to run her way to first. So that'll be a hit, sending Bolding to first base. And coming up next, it is Maris Barbado, the senior catcher. Again, earlier looked a little shaken up. But, I mean, you look at her now, you can't tell. She looks ready to face Severino. Right into the catcher's glove, ball one.
Yeah, and for Barbado, so far on the day, going back to game one, she was fairly impressive, going 3 for 4 with an RBI.
See what Severino can do. Strike one.
And that's a good call to get right there on the outside corner from Severino. Knowing that it's a 50-50 call, Barbado did the right thing there, keeping it in check. However, a really good call on the outside.
Pitch 3, tips foul. So 1-2, 0 outs, runner at first, top of the second. It's 0-0, which is to be expected in most series, but after the high-scoring affair from game one, seems a little weird.
Oh, I know. At this point, the Cardinals are already pouring it on.
Let's see what Severino can do. That one, far right. 2-2 is call. So we will look now once again at Barbado. Came into this one batting .255.
Because at this point in the last game, Toledo had already led 3-2.
And that's going to be a ball. Makes it full count.
Come on, Bree.
So, Maris Barbado. What can the senior do here? Runner on first. Not a lot of wind right now. What is going to have to happen? Swing and foul.
I have to respect the journey of Barbado, too. Last season was really the first year as a junior where she got a whole lot of reps, where she appeared in 44 games, had really a breakout season with a career high in hits, doubles, home runs, and RBIs.
Severino with the pitch. It goes foul once again into that away dugout.
And hey, she's fighting hard in a 3-2 count against Severino, one of the better pitchers on this Ball State staff.
Severino, like we mentioned, coming in 3.87 ERA. 3.4 is her record heading into the day. Love to make it 500, get a win. And that's going to be a walk right down the middle, sends Barbado to first. And that is going to send Bolding to second. Coming up next, it is Madison McKay. And Madison McKay out of Chester, West Virginia. Mostly a pinch hitter last year. Also had some pitching 1 year ago. Here's pitch. Tries to bunt. Ends up being called strike.
You know, it's funny, you mentioned her coming from Virginia, going from Oakland High School, and she played a huge part in their first ever undefeated season as a senior for them.
Definitely a great way to make some noise heading into the Division I level, as there's the bunt attempt again, makes it 0-2.
Yeah, undefeated 24-0 record for Oak Glen High School when Madison McKay was there for her senior season. It's very interesting how that experience built her here.
Here comes McKay. Down to left center. It was nearly in the hands of Urban. Rounding third to home is Bolding. So, it was McKay who was able to go to first, Barbado to second. Bolding comes home, and Haley Urban, maybe it was the sun, I don't really know. It was towards left center. She just barely misses it, ends up giving up the first run of this ball game.
And now you go up against Eliza Maloney, who was absolutely money in game one for Toledo. Maloney had a home run in the game. All in all, she went 1 for 3.
And Maloney, sophomore out of Huron, Ohio. Again, another fast player, as we see pinch runner now. That is the number 14 of Marissa Warren. So Warren replacing Barbado.
And that happened in game one, too. Warren was pinch running very early. That time it was in place of Audrey Miller in game one, now for Barbado.
So there was the first throw from Severino to Timmons. Timmons, it's a little worse for wear with that one. 0-1 is the call.
Is it just me? Timmons, she has such a positive attitude. Even when she hits the deck hard there, all I heard was just giggles from her. It goes to show her positive attitude, and it translates to the playing field.
I mean, everyone there just laughing. You know, usually when someone goes down, it's usually concerns. No. Just laughing it off. Great way to be. 0-1 for Eliza Maloney. Warren at second. Of course, McKay at first. Let's see what Maloney can do this time by. She wants the bunt. And she will. Timmons throws to first. And she is going to have to stay. You saw Warren try and run home. There was the throw from Timmons. It grazes the back of Maloney. So she stays there.
Hey, way to take that charge, one.
And
yeah, and that play right there, it's a very bang-bang call. You see it just on the edge of the foul line. McKenna Mulholland at second base took a pretty big hit as well. But now you reset. It's an opportunity for Severino to get a bit of redemption. And it's still only a 1-0 ball game.
so now we see Peyton Abele out of Oregon fouls that one to the left side to replace Maloney, who had that hard contact into Gibson at first base. So that'll send the first out to Maloney. So 0-1 the call for Abele out of Sherwood, Oregon. That's a low pitch from Severino to Timmons. So 1-1, you count with one out. Of course, Abele out in the line. And again, runner on second, runner on first. Cardinals have to watch out. That one a little high. Should be 2-1.
High and in that time around to Abele. Abele in game one for Toledo in the 9-hole again. She played a big part, going 3 for 4 for the Rockets.
Abele, only a freshman, but you wouldn't know it. She's played very well. She grounds that one to left field. She will make it to first, does Abele. We will see McKay at second and Warren at third. So bases are loaded with one out. And coming up next, it is Eli Enrique. We are back at the top of the batting order. And the left-handed batter out of Sacramento, California has her second attempt here. First time by. Hit it to left field. Got it out. But now has a chance to get some more points for the Rockets. And she will hit it left center. It was nearly in the hands of Gunter. Gunter can't get it. One Rocket is around. Make it 2 runs and a double for Enrique. Enrique makes her way to second. It is Abele up to third. McKay and Barbato, who was pinch run by Warren, make it 3-0. One out top of the third, and not at all how the Cardinals want game two to start going.
Oh, no, not at all. A big-time double from Eli Enriquez. 3-0 already. Toledo turning the tides. 2 in scoring position now for Griffith.
Sydney Griffith 0 for 1, first time by. She attempt number 2. She swings, hits it towards left center. Another rocket will score. She makes her way, does Griffith to first. Enriquez is on third. And Abele add her name to the score sheet. She gets the 4th run, sending Kendra Vanderlucht.
And now with Vanderlucht, the sac fly in play with the runner on third in Enriquez. At the same time, however, a 4-0 game, Toledo already pouring it on.
He was able to get a hit earlier. She's going to hit it. Right center. It is gone. Make it 1, 2, 3 more. You blink, and oh my, it is 7-0. Top of the second. From bad to worse, the 3-run homer for Vanderlucht, and a completely different Ball State Cardinals team out there.
Absolutely, and for Brianna Severino, it's got to be frustrating. You know that. But at the same time, mentally, you cannot lose the gears. You cannot go off the train mentally, knowing that your team needs you in a big-time spot, giving up 7 runs. I wonder if, whether it's now or later, if it'll trigger a change or not. I think for now, the Cardinals are set with Severino, and right as I say that, they bring out another pitcher. Isn't that funny?
You spoke it into existence, and Severino's day will be done. She gives up 7 runs. Something had to change if you are the Ball State Cardinals. And you don't want to have to do this very quickly, but at this point you have to. Severino is done. And we'll have a new pitcher in for the Ball State Cardinals. And that pitcher, Jessica Hoffman. Right-hand pitcher, redshirt junior out of Chicago, Illinois. Academic All-MAC. And this will be only her 3rd appearance for Jessica Hoffman.
Well, for Hoffman, you have to acknowledge that you're in a pretty big part of the lineup for Toledo where they can really do damage. With Audrey Miller, then you go up in that 5 spot with Bolding. Then it's Barbero in the 6th hole. That is big-time damage that can be done from Toledo. You have to acknowledge that if you're Hoffman and not let it affect you mentally.
And this is really different for Hoffman. She really hasn't had that much playing opportunity. So this could be a big-time moment.
It definitely can, and with 1 out here in the top of the second, Toledo with a 7-0 lead. I hate that I have to bring it up, but I do want to touch on the run rule here at the collegiate level. If Toledo ends up having an 8-run lead at the end of 5 innings, then this game will end early.
And that would be the exact opposite of what we saw through game number 1, a tight battle up until the 6th inning. Meanwhile, it's been all Toledo so far, and this is only the top of the second. 7-0, 1 out. Here comes Audrey Miller. And let's see what Miller can bring. Hartville, Ohio. Here's the first pitch from Hoffman. Far out to the right.
And Miller a ground out to shortstop and Peter Zach last time around. Let's see what she does here against Hoffman. I'm really intrigued to see what Hoffman brings in her very first at-bat today.
1-0 the count. This is Miller to the wall, caught at right field by Weaver. Much needed for the Ball State Cardinals.
Much needed indeed. That was just what the doctor ordered, and Hoffman already off to a great start getting that one out, but now you have to retire one of the best hitters in the entire Toledo lineup, Samantha Bolding.
Bolding has already scored a run in this inning. She has a chance to do it again. Bolding out of Greenfield, Indiana, only a freshman. Hoffman heaves it to Bolding. It is to center field, up and over the wall. Single run home run for Samantha Bolding. And that is another run scored by the Rockets. It is 8-0, top of the second.
Wow. That's all I have to say is wow. Samantha Bolding, touch them all. Great contact from the freshman. Makes it an 8-0 ball game. And for the Rockets end, that'll be the 5th home run for Bolding. That is huge. And now you go to Barbero, who has been really a tough task to get out all day in the 6th hole for Toledo. It's got to be tough for Hoffman. You have a really good first at bat, and then right there you leave one over the middle to Bolding. Takes it dead center.
So Hoffman will face Maris Barbado for the first time. So let's see what Barbado is able to bring. So 2 outs so far, top of the second, 8-0 run. Barbado, she hits it to Weaver, diving catch, right field, got it. That is going to end the top of the first.
Big time catch from Weaver and right. They needed anything they can get to end the top of the second, but now you head into the bottom of the second. For the Cardinals, you have to avoid not only one getting run ruled, but also you have to, little by little, step by step, get the building blocks to mount a comeback against these Rockets.
It's easier said than done,
Yeah.
obviously, but for Ball State, if you need a confidence boost, now is the time to play even better. And coming up first for the Cardinals, it will be McKenna Holland, followed by Caitlin Gibson and Haley Urban. That is your 3 at bat. Mandy Loth, Maddie Weaver have the potential to hit 4th and 5th. Well, Mulholland had a home run earlier. She had the game-winning play through game number 1. Now, will she be able to do the same? This would be one of the best comebacks for Ball State. Probably one of the best in the country, coming down from 8-0 in the second.
Oh, yeah, it would. An 8-run deficit is no joke. However, if there is any team that can mount a comeback, any team that can turn the tides, it is the Ball State Cardinals. Now you go with Mulholland to lead us off in the bottom of the second. This at-bat with Graham against Mulholland is a real tone setter. What the Cardinals need to do here is get off on her quick, be aggressive, because again, we're pretty much at a point where the bottom of the second, if you're not careful enough, that turns into the bottom of the 4th, really, with the run rule in mind.
So right now, Mulholland comes into this one batting 300 on the year. Let's see what Mulholland can bring. This is the first time we will get to see her for game number 2, as we only saw 4 Cardinals first time by. Meanwhile, we saw the Rockets multiple times. That first pitch is a strike.
Yeah, that one right down the middle with a little bit of up-down motion on Mulholland. That one had her name written all over it. That kind of goes against what I was saying prior.
Mulholland, she looked to swing. She gets the strike called there, 0 for 2.
That time more on the outside edge to Mulholland, but nonetheless, 0-2 with a more conservative approach.
Again, this is Kylie Graham pitching, and Once again, a little more of a wild pitch to her catcher in Barbados. So 1-2 is the count. Bottom of the second, Cards down 8-0. Swing and a foul.
Yeah, that time right to the backstop on her. But now a 1-2 count. You have to be optimistic if you're the Cardinals. You have Mulholland, Gibson, and Urban due up for the Cardinals.
See what she can do this time by. It was considered a ball. So 2-2. That one was close inside. After checking with the first base umpire, confirmed to be ball 2 for Mulholland facing Gillie Graham. The Oviedo Florida native gets a full count now. Just outside, makes it 3-2. And you hear some of the fans calling her JoJo, her nickname. She will foul that one towards the Ball State dugout to her left.
Yeah, she did talk about her JoJo nickname in the preseason, an interview with Lucas Thatcher on Inside the Chirp.
Find all that and more on Ball State's social media, as well as the YouTube, of course, X, Instagram, YouTube, where Ball State most active, as well as Facebook. There's the foul now, once again, to the left field side. From McKenna Mulholland, we are still at this at-bat. It's a full count. And again, this is still the first batter of the bottom of the second for Ball State. A lot of pitches early on being thrown by Gillie Graham. And that one is far out to the right. Far out, makes it a walk. And that'll be Mulholland at first base. Caitlin Gibson comes up next.
And it's interesting now with Caitlin Gibson. She did have a home run in game 1, and it was really the dagger to me, as now we see Mulholland getting a bit more equipment for her base running from Pena, her head coach. But now you're in a situation where it's really do or die.
Caitlin Gibson swing hard, and a miss there makes it strike one. Win going a little bit to the left now. Let's see what the Peru, Illinois senior can do. She's 0 for 1. In this, Gillie Graham. Inside, makes it 1-1.
And on deck, you have Haley Urban. Still nobody out in the bottom of the second inning for the Cardinals. They can truly make a splash here.
If Toledo can, so can the Cardinals. Mulholland tries to make her way to second. Meanwhile, it was Gibson who will make her way to first. So, Mulholland is out. The Rockets try the double play. Gibson is safe, but it was a fight for sure. If Gibson didn't have that speed, it'd probably be a double play.
Oh, yeah. But again, Gibson with the unreal speed that was able to avoid the double play and avoid having Haley Urban having to turn a 2-out rally. But instead, the Cardinals are still very much in striking distance.
Let's see what Gillie Graham throws this time by. 1 out, runner on first. Makes her way inside for the strike. Haley Urban out of Columbia City, Indiana. MAC Player of the Week back in February on the 26th. One of the very first MAC Player of the Weeks, as you brought up.
Yeah, again, it came out of nowhere, her dominance early on.
And if you look back there, Gibson, she will sprint her way from first to second. She is going to get a stolen base.
You can't underestimate the speed of Caitlin Gibson and what she has done all season on the base pads. Now, stolen bag number 10 for her.
Here comes Urban. Ground out to left field. That'll be foul. So 1-2 the count with a single out, and of course Caitlin Gibson just ran her way to second base now. And this is still the bottom of the second. If you're just now joining us, Max Gillie, Roen, Elbert here from Ball State. It is the home opening weekend. Cardinals win 13-8 game 1. Game 2 currently 8-0. Advantage to the Rockets. Another foul. Once again, foul on the left field side. So 1-2 still your count with a runner at second. Let's see what Haley Urban, the Columbia City, Indiana native, does this time by at a Columbia City High School. Only was able to play 3 seasons because of COVID. And she fouls that one up and early in the bullpen once again. So she's fouled left. Now she's fouled right.
It shows that Urban can really hit it anywhere on the field, which makes her a lot more of a useful talent on the field where she can put it anywhere depending on where the shift is.
Graham gets the throw from third to first. Can the Rockets get a double play? No. They can confirm that Urban was officially out with the 5-3 putout. They try and get Gibson out. Gibson remains safe. So 2 outs now. And Mandy Loth from Avon, Indiana, coming up next now. Runner at second. And Loth coming in here. Let's see what she can do this time by. That's another low one. Got to wash out in the backfield for Caitlin Gibson. She's at second. She has the speed to try and get a stolen base. Loth, the George Washington transfer.
Yeah, you have to keep an eye out for Gibson with 10 stolen bases on the year.
Gibson didn't steal that time by, but Loth did get a ball. So 1-1 is the count.
And you normally don't see anyone go for third, but hey, we saw in game 1 Maya Peterzak go for home twice. So is it really out of the question? No.
When you're down 8-0, there's a lot you got to try and work on. As that one gets called ball 1, so 1-2 is the count. And at this point, you got to try anything, because you did mention the run rule is something that could take effect.
And I'm sure the Cardinals do have it in the back of their mind.
Here comes Loth to right field. It's caught. Pop fly into the hands of Maloney. And just like that, we have finished 2 innings here. Toledo leads this one 8-0 after 2. Coming up, we're going to have the 3rd inning here on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
Number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome back to Ball State softball from Ball State Softball Stadium. It is Ball State versus Toledo, and game one, Cardinals win 13-8 in a thriller at the top of the third. Toledo leads 8-0 after scoring 8 runs in the second inning. And actually, Roen Elbert here. It was a fun one for sure. Here comes Madison McKay now. Once again set to face Jessica Hoffman, who had to come in during the second inning to replace Severino. There is the first throw there. It's called a ball by Hoffman as it was low. And the umpire gives it ball one.
Yeah, we begin 1-0 to McKay, who in the last game played a pretty big part over at the first base for Toledo.
And that'll be strike one for McKay. 1-1 is the count with the pitch from Hoffman. Let's see what Hoffman can do this time by. McKay looks to bunt. Cardinal infield inching closer and closer. 2-1 the call.
Yeah, the moment you see anybody, even if it's for a split second, show bunt, Holland, the second baseman for the Cardinals, kind of seems like the quarterback of the infield. She's commanding everybody in.
McKay, ground out from third. It's thrown to first. She will not get there in time. 5-3 put out. And that is a good communication from Loth, throwing it to Gibson.
Yes, it certainly is, knowing that right now you need anything you can get. You can't afford an error in the infield, especially when Toledo has a great eye for hitting today.
Eliza Maloney sets a bat. A low throw from Hoffman gets called ball, so it is 1-0, 1 out. Here at the top of the third. Second batter out, of course, Eliza Maloney out of Huron, Ohio. That one. Hit up to first. Great catch there by Gibson. And she made some errors in the first part of the second inning. She has for sure redeemed herself. Here, back-to-back big plays there for Gibson.
Yeah, redeeming herself is the perfect way to describe it. Now you got Abilene in the 9-hole, who singled her last time around. She is a real threat in that 9 spot.
She was one of the many Rockets to be able to score at one point. Peterzak to Gibson. Perfect for Ball State. You blink and it's over. The Ball State Cardinals end the third inning 3 out. And Roen, a completely different display from Ball State.
Yes, you go from putting up 8 runs in the second inning, then you go to the third, and it's 3 up, 3 down. It's really tough to describe what the difference was. And one thing I have noticed, and we didn't really see it in game one, the Cardinals didn't need to do it, but the entire team has huddled up after every half inning, it appears. And it's not just the players that are on the field. Everybody on the Cardinals roster huddling up right there on the third base line. I wonder if that played a big factor into that 1-2-3 inning. But now, if the pitching is going to be good, you need the run support. And that is exactly what Weaver will look to do for the Cardinals here, batting 9th. All in all, for Ball State and for Weaver so far today, she has been pretty solid out in right field defensively. Maddie Weaver so far today, when we include game one, she is 0 for 3. Let's see what she does here.
So it'll be Maddie Weaver, Maya Peterzak, and Michaela Timmons, the next 3 to face the Rockets. Obviously, when you see Peterzak and Timmons, if you joined us in game one, they were a dynamic duo. And they are the ones that would be able to help get some of those scoring that the Cardinals really need. So Maddie Weaver, first time we have seen the Franklin Central graduate out of Indianapolis, Indiana. 5'10" senior. Of course, academic all-MAC, and that's one of the things both of these teams really have. A lot of academically smart athletes.
Oh, yeah, you have to, and in many ways it translates to on the field.
See what Graham can do. Graham out wide, makes it 1-0.
On deck, you have to acknowledge the fact that you got Peter Zach for the Cardinals at the very top of the order. So Ball State, they are in the driver's seat when it comes to who they have up.
Weaver, she swings, she gets a miss. 1-1 is the count. Again, we are at the bottom of the third. It is 8-0, Toledo Rockets advantage. It was a high-scoring second inning. Cardinals caused the Rockets to go 3 out the next time by, and Weaver, first one to hit. She will ground it between left field. Easy way to get a hit. She found the gap between the shortstop and first base, and she takes advantage.
Yeah, Weaver right there getting into that left center gap. Perfect location, and this is what the Cardinals need, just what the doctor ordered, for a runner aboard for the top of the order and nobody out, but still nonetheless, it's going to be an uphill climb. They trail 8-0.
See what Peter Zach can do this time by. She tries to bunt, ends up getting the ball there. So ball 1.
Yeah, that time Graham dropped a little bit too low, but you could see that Peter Zach wanting to get somebody in scoring position in Weaver up for Timmons.
Pitch number 2, ground out from third. It's stopped at second. Was Weaver, so Peter Zach makes her way to first, but Weaver out at second, so 1 out.
Now you got Peter Zach on first, who got there via the fielder's choice. Up comes Michaela Timmons, and I'm expecting more of the same. A lot of walks here for Timmons today. I'm expecting possibly another 4-pitch walk yet again.
That has been the MO for Toledo so far. That is ball 1. Again, if you're just now joining us, Michaela Timmons hit a home run in the very first at-bat she had in game number 1. And then since then, she's been walked every time. Another far right throw, just nowhere near. And again, all this done intentional. Goal is to walk Timmons. They don't want to face the batter who's hitting over 500 on the year and nationally ranked for her on-base percentage. And even though she gets walked every time, she still gets on base every time.
Yeah, again, upping that on-base percentage, which is currently 3rd in the nation.
And that is going to be an easy 4-ball walk. So now Peter Zach makes her way to second. Timmons is at first. Cards have 1 out, and here comes Ella Whitney now.
And now we're at a point where Timmons is just an automatic first base appearance every time, because it's now 6 times, if we're including game 1, 6 times in a row she's walked.
Ella Whitney gets called for the strike first time by.
All but one of those 6 walks today have been 4-pitch walks. There was one time they accidentally threw a strike on the outside part of the zone.
And that was the only strike she had this entire weekend. Ella Whitney at the wall. It is called foul. And that would have been a much-needed momentum boost, but ends up carrying over the foul line. Does that from Ella Whitney.
But now, in an 0-2 count, Whitney's going to have to fight back hard. You can't afford to be down to 2 outs. And sure, it's a big part of the lineup with Gunter, Mulholland, and Gibson in that general area. And it seems like we have a pinch runner coming in for Michaela Timmons. So now you have to think about that. It's Sophie Schock coming in to pinch run for Ball State.
Second time today we've seen Sophie Schock. She was a pinch runner in game number 1, not for Timmons. She will stay this time by the Fishers native. Meanwhile, the Martinsville, Indiana native. So back-to-back Hoosiers. Here comes Ella Whitney. 0-2 the count with 1 out. Runners on second and first. That one goes low. So makes it 1-2. So going to be Shock on base at first. Then Peterzak at second. Whitney. She swings, gets foul. And our umpire having called time, getting everything cleaned up there at the base. So right now it is 1-2 the count, 1 out. Runners on second, runners on first. And Roen, you don't want to just keep harping on the fact that the Cardinals are down 8-0, but I mean, now is the time for something to happen if you're Ball State.
Yes, absolutely. Now is the time to strike while the iron is hot with a runner in scoring position.
There's the throw. Ella Whitney, left center. Can she get it? No, it is caught at Vanderlucht at center field.
What more can you say about that? There's not much you can do. You hit it right into the gap in left center field. But Kendra Vanderlucht is absolutely ridiculous, going all the way, cheating off into right field. She goes all the way in the left center to make the catch on the run.
Here comes Kara Gunter out of Pascala, Ohio. Transfer out of Dayton. She will swing, gets a little contact, and misses 0-1. Struck out her first time by, did Gunter. See what she can do this time by the left-handed batter. Kylie Graham gets the signal. Here's the pitch. Another low pitch. Outside the strike zone, makes it 1-1.
Because you have the left-handed batter in Gunter right now in a 1-1. She, for once, Cardinals don't really have an advantage over the left-handed pitcher in Graham.
And Gunter grounds that one out to first, and that is going to end this one. She gets tagged out. So, at the end of the third, Toledo still leads this one 8-0. We'll take this quick timeout when we come back. Fourth inning here from Muncie, Indiana.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome back to Sports Link Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda Muncie. It is Ball State versus Toledo softball, game number 2 on the day. Currently, it is 8-0, Toledo with the advantage. Cardinals won game 1, 13-8. It was back and forth, but today it's been all Toledo because of that 8-run second inning.
Keep this in mind. Michaela Timmons is not out there catching for the Cardinals. She limped off, and it's now Sophie Schock behind the dish for Ball State. Hopefully everything is all right with Timmons.
Attention fans, remaining in the game and catching for your Cardinals, number 21, Sophie Schock.
And the Fishers, Indiana native,
Shortstop, number 7,
Let's see what she can bring. Maybe she can help the Cardinals try and get this lead a lot closer. Eli Enriquez coming up next, the left-handed batter. Here comes Hoffman. And that is an easy call for a strike.
Look, I'm a realist. The Cardinals are down 8-0 right now, and you just lost one of the best catchers in the country, potentially, for the game. That's tough. That makes it even tougher to come back from that deficit.
So that was a low pitch, makes it ball one. It's nowhere near connecting to Shock.
Because what we saw with Timmons was we saw her at first base, and then it just all of a sudden, non-contact, something seemed wrong, and she hobbled off of the field.
As there is a strike, no, a ball, just outside to the left from Hoffman to Shock. And again, this is Eli Enriquez, of course, comes into this one. Had a run earlier today. She has played really well for the Rockets. And she fouls that one up over the Ball State dugout. Still see some active Cardinals in the bullpen, but unless Hoffman gives up some runs right now, I don't know if we'll exactly need to see a change. 2-2 the count for Enriquez. She swings, and she draws foul.
Enriquez, everything she's hit today has gone opposite field, it seems. Like everything's been out to left. She is a left-handed batter. Really only 2 or 3 combined from both teams with left-handed batters. You see Enriquez for Toledo and then Gunter for Ball State. That's really it.
There is the pitch. It is hit between the shortstop and the left field gap, and that is an easy run there for Enriquez. 3 Cardinals tried to dive for it. Ultimately, nothing could have stopped the speed of Enriquez.
No, when you see something like that out in center where it gets past 3 Cardinals, can you really stop that? I mean, can you really stop that? It just goes to show how great Enriquez has been today.
Hoffman with the throw. It is ball one. It's just a little too high. Sydney Griffith now set to bat. And Griffith also one of the Rockets who was able to contribute to the 8-point runs. And it's 1-0 is the count. Sophie Schock, catcher, calls time. So again, Enriquez is at first. No outs. Top of the 4th. There was the throw from Hoffman, and no hesitation at all from Griffith to try and swing at that one.
Yeah, up top, didn't have much movement to it. You would expect there to be a bit of a sinking motion with it, but nonetheless, Griffith remained patient.
Third time for Hoffman. There's a swing, and there is a strike. So 2-1 is your count. Again, Enriquez, the lone Rocket, currently on base.
We have seen her previously in Game 1 show bunt from time to time. I doubt we see it here, though.
Teams do not want to focus on that aspect yet. It is 3-1. The count for Griffith, the senior who was first-team All-MAC 1 year ago. Expecting to see her have a bigger performance as the year goes on. She will ground it from Petersack. Petersack to second. Second to first. Well, we know that Enriquez was out at second. Griffith is safe, so the fielder's choice ends up going to second.
Yeah, and that's the right thing to do. A good heads-up play by Petersack at shortstop to underhand it to second over to Mulholland. Sends it to first, just not in time. We really only one time we've only seen a double play today, and it was the game winner in game 1 for the Cardinals.
Kendra Vanderluck, she fouls it to the left sideline first time out. Vanderluck had a home run earlier, helped lead and contribute to that 8-0 second inning. And again, Vanderluck definitely had some big moments already today. She fouls that one to the right side, does Vanderluck, and just bounces off of the ESPN production truck.
Which, hey, that ESPN production truck is the reason why you are listening to this broadcast right now.
See what Vanderluck can do this time by 0-2 is the count after 2 fouls. Vanderluck grounds to third. Third to first. Gibson, was she in time? Yes, she was. That's an out.
A good 5-3 put out from Louth over the first base to Gibson. You have to be a little bit tempted to go over the second base, but Griffith had way too much speed. Now you go over to Audrey Miller, who's over 2 today. Let's see if Hoffman can get the edge over her.
Audrey Miller out of Hartville, Ohio, only a freshman. Let's see what she'll do this time by. She will ground it to shortstop. Petersack can't get a hand on it. You see Griffith round home. That is another run for the Rockets. Meanwhile, Miller able to get a hit to first.
Again, Griffith, great speed like I've mentioned all day. That time in a heartbeat, able to go all the way around from second to home. So now it's a 9-0 Toledo lead. Ball State, we're getting to a point now with the run rule being a thing where they would be down to their final 6 outs heading into this bottom of the 4th.
And just if people are listening for the first time, remind the viewers and listeners what the run rule is for today's game at least.
Yes, for today's game, it's if the Cardinals are trailing by 8 or more at the end of 5 innings, then this game will be ending early. It will be a mercy rule in a sense.
So the Cardinals need to start getting some stops now. Runner on first, 2 out. Here comes Samantha Bolding. There is the run from Audrey Miller. She runs from first to second. She will steal second, does Miller. And no hesitation there from Miller. Meanwhile, another freshman in Samantha Bolding. She got a ball her first time by, so 1-0 the count for the freshman. Pitch from Hoffman. Right in the glove. 1-1.
That's a good find from Hoffman right there to find her groove against a very solid hitter in Bolden that's been dominant all season for Toledo, only as a freshman. We're talking about MAC Freshman of the Year. You're looking at Bolding. You're also looking at Miller over at second for Toledo.
Bolding ends up drawing a foul ball there. Just barely hits it onto the cage, so it'll be 1-2. The count for Bolding.
And might I add, I know it's a bit chilly today. There's a bit of a draft. I have to say, though, very sunny, very beautiful day here in Muncie.
And once again, the fence there is 1-2 is the count. The fence in the visiting bullpen has once again slightly moved. It would be in the middle of the action if someone comes hurtling at the fence. So currently, Cardinals as well as some of the Toledo staff trying to get the fence worked on. As right now it's 1-2 once again for Samantha Bolding, the freshman. And we seem to be ready to go back in action. 1-2 the count. Freshman looks to bunt. She swings, and she should have gotten the foul.
Yeah, foul tip it appears, but there's a bit of a miscommunication between the officials, the home plate umpire going over to the third base umpire to discuss. It was very quick. Now back to the 1-2 count.
So once again, this is Samantha Boulding out of Greenfield, Indiana, still up to bat. Runner on second. Keep an eye on second base. That one hit left field, and it fouls over the fence, but it was a foul ball.
Had it been fair, it would have been gone. That was exactly 200 feet out to left field. Would have had just enough carry, would have made it an 11-0 Toledo lead, which would have given them a 3-run cushion over the run rule.
Hoffman to pitch. That one called a little high, makes it 2-2 the count. So again, Audrey Miller currently at second base. Rockets have 2 out. Hoffman set the throw to Samantha Boulding. And Boulding, she will hit it down the right field wall. And that will be caught by Weaver. And that will end the top of the 4th. 1 run scored by Griffith. Increases it to be a 9-0 lead, but Cardinals are going to be back on the attack, and there aren't many ways you can really say this other than just having to say they have to score some runs.
Oh, they have to. What they need here is just anything, and I mean anything, even if it's 1 run. That's a baby step. I think goal number 1 is to avoid being run ruled, which would be right now if you're trailing 9-0, you're down to your final 6 outs with the run rule in question, which would mean right now Ball State would need to put up at least 2 runs in the next 2 innings, barring Toledo tacking on it anymore for this game to not end early. That's goal number 1, but it's got to be baby steps. It doesn't need to come all at once. You don't need a big swing. It would help, but what you need is get on base. Hit hard, get on base, be patient, and be aggressive when the time comes. I think that's all the Cardinals really need to do to get back into this one.
Set the bat for the Cardinals is McKenna Mulholland from Oviedo, Florida. Is Mulholland. Again, first time by, she was able to get a hit, but she was not able to get a run. She had a home run earlier. She had the game-winning play to end game number 1 with that 13-8 victory for Ball State. However, Toledo has completely flipped the script again. They are up 9-0. We're at the bottom of the 4th. It will be McKenna Mulholland, Caitlin Gibson, and Haley Urban, your next 3 for the Ball State Cardinals. Maxwell Gillie, Roen, Elbert here from Ball State University. Game 2 of this doubleheader. Let's see what McKenna Mulholland can do this time by. Here is the pitch from Graham. That one called ball.
With Mulholland now, this is the perfect way to start this bottom of the 4th for the Cardinals. Now the third base umpire discussing with the home plate umpire something. I wonder what this could be.
Gonna have to wait to see.
Oh, it's the fence.
The fence again. That has been something that has had to be dealt with multiple times here today.
It almost makes me want to go down there and go down there and help them. I just get arrested, that's all.
That's right. Now is a great time to mention to all of the viewers that at all Ball State home athletic events, you are not permitted to make your way onto the court, or in this case, onto the field. So I'm glad that you were able to help inspire us to bring up that highly important PSA.
Yes. More people should get the memo.
There we go. So once again, we got a quick stoppage in the action. It is the bottom of the fourth. And again, McKenna Mulholland still set to bat. She currently has a 1-0 count. Cardinals trail 9-0, bottom of the fourth. Let's see what Mulholland can do. That should be called a ball. There it is. As it was nowhere near the strike zone. 2-0 the count. See, Mulholland wants to get a hit off Kylie Graham. So that one is low once more. This will be called ball 3.
Talk about the perfect way for the Cardinals with a potential a 4-pitch walk for Mulholland, and then that would set up then Gibson and Urban. Now you get a circle visit between Barbato and Graham for Toledo. Just a quick little exchange. Now we're back to the action.
And again, really Mulholland and Gibson were the only Cardinals who have recently been able to get on base. We will see what Mulholland can do this time by. It's a 3-0 count, bottom of the fourth. Mulholland facing Kylie Graham once more. That one far out, so that'll be a walk for McKenna Mulholland.
You have a leadoff walk for the Cardinals now. Mulholland, she can provide quite a bit of speed. The one thing I do find really fascinating is Helen Pena. Every time Mulholland is on the base pads, she comes out with the base running equipment for Mulholland all the time. You don't see that kind of thing from a head coach every day.
Gotta watch out for the speed of Mulholland. Here comes Caitlin Gibson up next. She was able to get on base her first time by. So again, one runner on first. Pitch. That one is swung for, and that one is a strike.
And that's okay to be aggressive at that point on the bottom half of the frame. You know you need to be aggressive, especially with a base runner and knowing that you're down to your final 6 outs here.
There is Gibson once more. 0-2 is the call. She gets another strike. Gibson out of Peru, Illinois.
It is worth noting for Ball State to come back, it would take a bit of a miracle, especially considering only 1 hit to their name today as a team.
Gibson. You got to watch for Mulholland trying to run from first to second, but that's going to be a strike there called for Gibson.
Swinging in the dirt. I know you got to be aggressive. Maybe a little bit too much there.
So Haley Urban up next, the center fielder. Last time by, hit it towards left field, ends up getting a 5-3 put out. See what she can do this time by. Just the pitch, she swings, makes some contact, but that is going to be a strike. And again, there's McKenna Mulholland once again. You see her inching, trying to see if she can get to second base. She has the speed to do it. Urban will foul that one. It's 0-2.
Haley Urban yet to get a hit today, but it's not because of a lack of good contact or anything like that, or a lack of a good eye for the zone. I would say the inverse. She's been walking quite a bit. She's been fairly patient, and it's paid dividends for her.
So we will see what she can do this time by 0-2 the count, 1 out, runner on first. That one goes high, ball 1. So again, this is Kylie Graham still pitching for the Rockets. Rockets have kept their pitcher. Ball State started off with Severino, had to change it, and it ended up going to Graham. So there is the hit to center field from Urban. It is caught.
And that was deep to dead center. Had it been a little bit more to left center, going with the wind a bit, that would have been gone, and all of a sudden it would be a whole new ball game.
So Mulholland still remains at first. There are 2 outs, and Mandy Loth next to come up for the Ball State Cardinals. Of course, sophomore out of Avon, Indiana. George Washington transfer. So this should be one of her first times playing back home again in Indiana. There is Loth. Left center. It is not going to go. Mulholland rounds third. Loth will get a double. Mulholland is able to score. How about that? Much needed for McKenna Mulholland.
Much needed for the Cardinals to finally get on the board, 9-1. What speed from Mulholland to go all the way around the world. Mandy Loth, the hometown hero in a sense, coming from Avon High School, comes from the Hoosier State. Spent a year away at George Washington, now back in Indiana with the Cardinals, making a big impact.
Here comes Maddie Weaver for the Ball State Cardinals. Kylie Graham, here's the pitch. That one is low, so that should be ball 1. So again, Loth is currently at second after getting the double. Meanwhile, Weaver currently 1-0, 2 out. Bottom of the 4th for Ball State. Weaver, she gets a strike. So 1-1 is the count now. Again, it would be Peter Zach on deck. Kylie Graham, here is her pitch now. It is ground out to short. And will Maddie Weaver get there in time? No, she will not, and that is how we end the 4th. It was a good hit there. Ultimately, Weaver not fast enough. She gets the 3rd out. So at the end of the 4th, Cardinals score 1, but they still trail 9-1. We'll take a quick timeout when we come back. 5th inning here on SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptonin.com. At munciesuites.hamptonin.com.
From trivia night at Brothers and Tater Tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
Welcome back to Ball State. It is the Ball State Cardinals and the Toledo Rockets. Top of the 5th right now for Ball State. Of course, Cardinals are trailing this one 9-1. But good news, Cardinals do have back in the lineup is Timmons.
Yeah, that is huge. She was out for the last inning of work. Shock replaced her. Now she's back. Good to see her.
Barbados will foul that one once again into the dugout. As still pitching for the Cardinals, it is Hoffman. So she will probably stay the rest of this one if I was to make a guess. And this is Barbado. Won't swing there. So 1-1 the call.
And it's worth noting that we don't know how much time we have left in this game. If the Cardinals are not unable to put up anything in the bottom of the 5th, then this game is over. However, if they do, then we continue on to the 7th potentially.
This is Barbados. Hit to right field. Good catch there by Weaver. And I mean, she makes it look easy, does Weaver?
It's insane how she's on the run right there. The fact that she's able to make that catch with the sun directly into her eyes.
Here comes Madison McKay out of Chester, West Virginia.
As a matter of fact, yeah, the sun is like directly beaming into right field, exactly where Maddie Weaver is.
And the first time by will be a foul there for McKay.
You can't forget McKay had an RBI single in that second inning, that unreal second inning for Toledo where they put up 8 of their 9 runs.
Once again, showing you why this Toledo team is significantly better than their record may show. There's Hoffman. It's another low pitch. That should be ball 1.
And this Toledo team was a very good MAC tournament team last season. You have to remember that.
And I mean, Ball State was the team that ended up beating Toledo in that MAC tournament when they went on their Cinderella run. And they've already looked significantly better this year compared to where they were at this point last year. So 1-1 is the count for Madison McKay. McKay, ground out from third down to first, easy.
I do want to give credit to Hoffman, the pitcher in the circle for the Cardinals. She sees it going. She sees the 5-3 out potential with Louth over the first to Gibson, and she does what every good pitcher should do. Get out of the way. You kneel down to make sure you do not get in the way of that throw, not only for the love of the game, but also for your safety.
Got a pitch hitter now. It is Jenna Bloomfield, the 5'8" sophomore. Saw her one time in game number 1 to replace Maloney is Bloomfield.
She did go 0 for 1 in her lone plate appearance in game 1.
So right now there are 2 outs for the Rockets, top of the 5th. Hoffman, here's the throw. That one was quick, and that one was a little high. You had to see Bloomfield had to back up a little bit. Screamer of a throw right there. See what Hoffman does this time by. Hit out right. So 2-0.
2-0 to Bloomfield. She has been a solid hitter, kind of on the edge of getting an everyday rep for Toledo all season.
And she will hit it left center gap. She rounds first. She will stay. That's a good hit there for Bloomfield.
Now you go to the third baseman and Peyton Abley with Bloomfield on first. The Rockets now with 2 away. They could get a 2-out rally going, add a bit more of a cushion as they try and win this game in the bottom of the 5th. It's really interesting what we're seeing now with Bloomfield, who came into pinch hit for Maloney. Now Maloney coming into pinch run for Bloomfield.
It's a unique strategy, but it is been working so far for Toledo. We'll see if that can continue, as again, this is Abilene out of Oregon. Two out, runner on first. That one fouled out to right. As you saw Maloney try and steal second, and she was close.
Oh, she definitely was. Unfortunately, going foul, didn't really have the chance to, because Toledo now, you got to get everything you can get if they want to end this early and end today on a high note.
Here's the pitch from Hoffman. That one's low. So 1-1 is the count with Maloney at first. Again, being the pinch runner for Bloomfield. A little bit of a switch from what we've traditionally seen. Heavily. Has to get a ball over there. Hoffman. High right is the throw.
The Toledo dugout, I have to say, quite rowdy.
Definitely been able to hear them a lot more here today. Helps when you're up 9-1. Gives you more energy. As Maloney would have been able to round second had there not been a foul. So 2-2 is the call. So again, this is still Abley. And only a freshman, doesn't really come off to you as a freshman. She plays really well. It's another low throw. So full count now with 2 outs. So let's see what can happen this time by for the Rockets. It's going to be a walk. So Maloney to second, Abilene to first, and guess who's back? Back again, Eli Enriquez.
Tell a friend.
That's right. I was hoping someone would notice. So Eli Enriquez, definitely highly impressive, and at the rate she is playing, she will be one of the top MAC players this season. Ground out to pitcher Hoffman. Hoffman throws it to first. That's how we end this one. So, at the end of the 5th, it is 9-1 with the 1-3 put out. So that is going to mean it is up to Ball State to have to score here at the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, that it's do or die, and I'm sure that these Cardinal hitters know that. Good news for Ball State fans, it's the top of the order due up. So you know they can do serious damage with due up being Peterzak, Timmons, and Whitney.
So again, if you're just now joining us, Maxwell, Gillie, Roen, Elbert here from the home opener. Game 1 was earlier today. It was 13-8. Game 2, 9-1. So what this means is you have to start coming out to Ball State softball games because you're going to see someone have a high-scoring game. That's been the trend so far.
Yes, that has certainly been the trend. Unfortunately, not really in the Cardinals' direction, but still, they can make this a ball game. Still plenty of time if they can get some runs on the board in this inning. That run rule is in play. 8 runs the Toledo Rockets lead by. If they get a shutout in this bottom of the 5th, then the Rockets will be heading back to their hotel room tonight in a good mood.
So once again, Maya Peterzak coming up next for the Cardinals. She has been one of the Cardinals who, even though she hasn't been able to score a run, she has played very well.
Yes, Peterzak all day. If we're combining Game 1 and Game 2, she has been sensational on the base pads. That's why it's important to set the tone right here, get her on base, and let the rest figure it out with Timmons, who is an automatic walk. We know that at this point.
So here comes Kylie Graham, set to pitch. Bottom of the 5th. That one is a ball. Again, it was just out towards the right. Easy call for the umpire. It's 1 out. And you see the Rockets defense moving in closer and closer. They're not really anticipating a bomb out of Peterzak.
Which is kind of weird considering she's hit 3 all year. So you would think that maybe they would expect a little bit more, but nonetheless, it's a 2-0 count. The infield very much playing in. Outfield, still, they're a bit more in as well off of the warning track.
We'll have to see what can happen here. 2-0 the count for Maya Peterzak. Top of the 5th. Cards trail by 8. And that will be a strike right there. Down the middle, easy call. So 2-1 is the count now for Maya Petersak, facing Kylie Graham on the circle. That one hit to center field. Petersak easily able to get a hit. And the one constant here today has been that it will be a Timmins walk.
Yeah, if that continues on, this would be her 7th walk in a row. It would be her 6th 4-pitch walk of the day. Again, the one time it wasn't a 4-pitch walk, it was because they accidentally threw a strike.
So runner on first, that's Petersak. Ball 1. That one dips low. And again, when you look at Timmins coming in here, she's batting over 500, has one of the top on-base percentages in the country. You just haven't really been able to see at least her attempts to really get any hits at all as she keeps getting walked.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and I'm sure that she feels the same way, that same frustration that she can't swing.
As that is another ball. It should be ball 3, far to the right side, and makes it just easy. So let's see Kylie Graham. There's the throw, ball 4.
Did you expect anything less?
That's the one guarantee we have had here today. That and the guarantee that someone was going to score at least 8 runs.
Yeah, death, taxes, and a Michaela Timmins walk.
So we will have to wait and see. Hopefully, in the next series, that won't continue if you're a Ball State fan. Here comes Ella Whitney now. Whitney, ground out to center. Don't look now. There's Petersak to steal home.
Now that run rule is out of play. The Cardinals, they're going into this where they could take this into the 7th inning. Graham, they're finally figuring it out. In the bottom of the 5th inning, the Cardinals are not down and out quite yet.
And now there is a meeting at the mound for the Toledo Rockets. Probably were hoping that they could have had this be a run rule. That won't happen now. So what does this mean, America? You gotta stay tuned. And it has been a great day of softball so far.
Yeah, it certainly has, with a lot of high scoring, and it's far from over now as we're in the bottom of the 5th.
So we got a pinch hitter for the Ball State Cardinals. It is the number 6 of Veronica Peterson. See what Peterson can do this time by. The Texan gets a strike first time here.
And that was a really good recovery from Graham to frame it up on the outside. Barbado did a good job framing that, the catcher for the Rockets. So now runners on first and second for the Cardinals.
Peterson, ground out to short. Peterson, will she save? They say she is out. Cardinal fans thought she was safe. Umpire has a different view. So Peterson will end up getting out, but you see Timmins at third and Ella Whitney at second. And with one out, here comes McKenna Holland as Coach Bracamonte having a conversation with our home plate umpire right now.
You have to remember that at this point in the game, what the Cardinals can do with 2 in scoring position and Maholland up to bat, they could, with one swing of the bat, things can change drastically, and this can become more of, hey, let's recover, more into, let's make this a ball game.
So hopefully you've been joining us this entire game day, but if not, It is currently 9-2. Advantage to the Rockets in the bottom of the fifth. Runners on third, runner on second. Here comes Mo Holland. And JoJo won't spring there. So again, that is one of the nicknames she's been referred to. So if you're ever at a ball game and you hear someone yelling, JoJo, JoJo, and you're confused, that's McKenna Holland. That's going to be ball two.
Let's see if JoJo can drive in these 2 runs for the Cardinals and make this game a whole lot interesting going into a potential 6th inning, which we will see now that the Cardinals are now only trailing by 7.
Mulholland is the lone Cardinal who was able to score in the 4th. She joins Peter Zach as the 2 Cardinals who have scored here today. But on third, runner on second, 3-0 count, 1 out. She calls bunt. She walks instead with the ball. So bases are loaded. Caitlin Gibson has the opportunity to do something pretty impressive if she can get a home run and make it a grand slam.
Which, hey, she had a homer in the last game. You know not to count her out in that realm. And we have a pinch runner at second base, oddly enough, for the Cardinals. The change being made with Allie Noble coming in for Ella Whitney.
And Ella Whitney has had a few pinch runners here today, but as you mentioned, this is the first time we've been able to say Allie Noble's name. And Noble out of Tucson, Arizona. Wanted to make sure that we could give you her information as our next batter, through Illinois' Caitlin Gibson.
And you know, with the temperature being the way it is today, it's one of those days where I wish I was in Tucson, Arizona.
That would definitely be really nice right now. We're out in the elements in case you haven't realized. I'm actually Roen Elbert here for SportsLink. Because ESPN is doing the broadcast here, we're outside with the fans. So far, they haven't tried to yell at us, which is nice.
Oh, that's great.
1-0 the count. Here is Gibson at the wall. 1 Cardinal, 2. Can we get 2? We have 1 stay at third. A double for Gibson. And 2 Cardinals are able to score. Mulholland makes her way to third. Gibson at second. But count it for Allie Noble and Michaela Timmons.
Now it's only a 5-run game. The Cardinals have made this game back into a competitive back and forth, which is just what they needed, putting up 3 runs in this bottom of the 5th.
So this is Haley Urban. Last time by, she sent it to center field. Nearly had it go over the wall had it not been for Vanderlucht, as low pitch makes it ball 1. So currently 1 out. Runners on third and second. Let's see what Urban can do this time by. It's going to be a strike. So that makes it 1-1.
You got that runner on third for the Cardinals still, which means, hey, put anything out into the outfield and you bring in yet another run.
Haley Urban, low pitch, won't swing, makes it 2-1.
You're not going to see Haley Urban chase after many pitches, if any. So that's a tough cookie right there for Kylie Graham to try and get a chase on her.
Graham, another low pitch, nearly hits the ground there, makes it 3-1. Which would once again make the bases loaded if this becomes a walk.
And that's certainly in play.
And Urban with a good foul makes it full count. That had a lot of speed.
Yeah, going off to the right, that one into that grass field behind the softball stadium.
3-2 the count. runner on third, runner on second. Cards have scored 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. And that's going to be a walk. So once again, bases are loaded. You have Mulholland at third, Gibson at second, Urban at first. Here comes Loth. And before we can make it any further, Bracamonte having a conversation with the umpire.
And it wasn't a how's your day going type of conversation. Let's just put it that way.
That's probably the most frustrated I have seen her all day. She seems like she's relatively calm from all the interviews that I've seen and just from today. So, umpires had a meeting. Everything is back. Mandy Loth, again wearing 00, is Loth out of Avon, Indiana. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Cards only trail by 5. There's the throw. Ground out to shortstop. 1 runner can make it 2. How about 2 more? Runner on first and runner on third. Mulholland will score. Gibson will score. Urban will make her way to third. Loth will make her way to first, and it is 2 points, the difference now.
The Cardinals now have made this a ball game. All it took was 1 swing of the bat. Now you got runners on the corner, still only 1 out, and you're back to the bottom of the order with Weaver. And Weaver, you have to remember, she kicked off this part of the inning, and we have a pinch runner for the Cardinals in Louth at first. It'll be Peyton Fox yet again pinch running.
So Peyton Fox, like we mentioned, second time we've seen her today. Maddie Weaver coming up next. Runner at third, runner at first. Only 1 out. Still got a lot of ball game left. And the question now, Kylie Graham, she has given up 6 runs here at the bottom of the 5th. If you're Toledo, do you keep her in? Do you get some new fresh blood out there? That we'll have to wait and see. Graham goes wide right, makes it 1 out.
And that's a good question. I personally am of the belief that Graham can get out of this, but at the same time, they have options in that bullpen. Heck, you can even go back to Sophia Knight. There's no rule against that. She started game 1. I'm sure she's not too tired.
You saw Weaver, she called for bunt. Meanwhile, Fox is able to run to second. So 1-1 is the call. And now a runner at third in Urban, and Fox steals second. Here comes Weaver once more. 1-1 the count. Graham. Here's the pitch. That one's low. Ball 2.
Going low and inside to Weaver. A very interesting choice that time around. But now you're in a 2-1 count. The Cardinals still with only 1 out, trying to empty the 2 in scoring position out.
Graham fouls down left field. And that was close.
It certainly was. That was probably an inch foul before it ended up ricocheting all the way out. But man, she's fighting hard. It's a 2-2 now, but still the Cardinals will go back to the top of the order nonetheless, no matter what happens.
Graham, here's the throw. Urban will hit it down to the wall. 1 Cardinal is around. 2 Cardinals are around. That's a double, and we're at a tie ball game. Haley Urban, Peyton Fox, they have scored. Weaver gets 2. It's 9-8. They never said We were math majors, so the correction is that it is 9-8 at the bottom of the 5th.
A 7-run bottom of the 5th inning for the Cardinals. Maddie Weaver, the double. Ball State has all of a sudden stormed all the way back, and look at this, another new pitcher, and wait a second, that is Sophia Knight. She started game 1, she's back out for game 2, and I called that just about 5 minutes ago.
You spoke it into existence. Something needed to change when you give up 7 runs. And the answer is to bring back Sophia Knight. And Sophia Knight, she played well in game number 1. I mean, yes, there were the runs giving up. You can bring that up.
Yeah, her final line was 5 innings pitched. She allowed 7 hits, gave up 9 earned runs, 11 total runs. She walked 8 batters, gave up 5 strikeouts. She had a couple solid innings, but all in all was not having her best stuff. But is she the ace of this rotation? Absolutely. There is no denying that.
So, again, it is 9-8, bottom of the 5th. And we are back, and we are ready to go. This is going to be Peterzak. Peterzak scored already here in the 5th. Can she do it again? Runner on second is Weaver. First pitch. That one goes foul. Sophia Knight. 1-0 the count. Knight. Let's see what she can do for pitch number 2 for Knight. It's a strike. So 1-1. Now the count, you know, it felt like in the early part of this game it was going to be the easy road for Toledo. Now it's down to 1. Peterzak. Man, that would have been a great homer, but she ends up going foul. But she went over 200 feet.
Well over. That had to be 220 at least. Going just foul. 1-2. Let's see if she can make Knight pay for that.
Peterzak once again will go foul, but once again over the wall.
Another deep ball yet again. So now we continue with a 1-2 count. You got a runner on second. Timmons on deck. You know that that's an automatic walk. Knight, she knows the drill. She kind of started the trend.
There's another foul, this time towards the right. Peterzak, just based on her practice swings, she wants to go yard.
You kind of get that vibe.
Here's the throw from Knight. It's another low pitch, 2-2.
With Timmons on deck, this is crucial for the Cardinals to get anybody aboard for her, knowing that it'll either be an automatic walk or if you leave anything for her, she could hit it out.
Peterzak ends up getting foul once more. 2-2, bottom of the 5th. Runner at second. Peterzak set to hit. Wind really increases. That one goes high. Watch out for Weaver. She runs her way to third. So Weaver will steal third. And Cardinals, they can feel it.
Yeah, you're a sac fly away from tying the game now with a runner on third.
Knight, she walks Peterzak, and will probably end up walking our next Cardinal out there in Timmons. How many walks is she up to now?
Let's do the math now. 7. And this is likely to be the 8th if we combine both game 1 and game 2. She's 1 for 1 in this series so far.
She's going to probably end up with her 30th walk by the end of the weekend series. She's started with 21 before this game. She's at even more now. 1-0 the count.
Wow, they threw a strike. You're kidding me.
The scoreboard just automatically had put that there was a ball too. Wow. I mean, that shocked everyone out here who's been here all day. So 2-1 is the count. Only the second time we have seen a strike from Timmons so far. Pietrzak at first, Weaver at third. Timmons gets ball 3. And here comes Knight. Can she get another walk? She will. So bases are loaded, and Ella Whitney has the chance to give this to the Cardinals.
At this point for Ball State, in a 9-8 game, so many runs have been scored just in the last 2 innings alone. 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th for the Cardinals. And the fact that they were being shut out in the first 3 innings is astounding. We do have a pinch. And we do have a pinch hitter in for the Cardinals in Ella Whitney. A little lineup change there, because she was taken out, if you remember, in the last part of the at-bat.
She was replaced by Allie Noble. Well, Whitney has returned. Whitney's going to swing and get strike 1.
Just what Knight needed. Blow it right by her. Now this is where you get into business. You need to get these 2 outs with the bases completely juiced.
That should be, oh, it's called strike. Fans wanted it called ball, but it's 0-2 with 1 out and bases loaded. It would be the opportunity for Whitney to get her 5th home run if she can get this grand slam.
And this is interesting. On deck for the Cardinals, pinch hitting potentially, Gabby Evans.
Placing Peterson. Whitney. She gets foul. So it is 1-2 your count here. As it is Ella Whitney with the bases loaded. Cardinals only trail by 1. Whitney fouls that one up, and oh, it stays in. I thought it was going to go over the fence.
It seemed like it did, and I'm a little disappointed with these foul balls here in Game 2. Game 1, I had a chance at a lot of them. One was right in front of our booth. But Game 2, not a lot.
All right, softball folks, you heard him here. We need to get some foul balls up in our section. Another foul ball for Ella Whitney. Trying to speak it into existence is Roen Elbert. I'm Maxwell Gillie. It is Ball State versus Toledo, 9-8. Bottom of the 5th. 1-2 is the count. As again, we had a quick little stoppage. They needed to retrieve the foul ball. 1-2 your count for Ella Whitney. Bases loaded. It goes far outright. And that is a ball. So 2-2 the count for Ella Whitney.
And we're beginning to get more of evening skies. I don't know the exact time of sunset, but you have to remember that here in Muncie.
And Whitney gets hit, and just like that, we got a tie ball game. Maddie Weaver ends up being walked home. Whitney makes her way to first. Timmons is on second. Pietrzak is on third. And as we mentioned, Gabby Evans.
I'm floored, Max. 8 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning for Ball State. You can't make that up. The fact that we're in this situation right now where the Cardinals can take the lead, when we were talking about this game being over, the Cardinals were 3 outs away from being down and out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They were going to be run ruled. This game was going to be over. But Gabby Evans is now up, trying to give the Cardinals the lead with the bases loaded and only 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
Gabby Evans, a 5'10" junior from Whiteland, Indiana. She bats .185. She's had 4 runs. She's had 2 home runs this year, but 3 would be the most impactful. That's ball 1. So 9-9 tie ball game. Bases are loaded. 1 out. Gabby Evans. She fouls that one, 1-1.
Evans is fighting hard like she should, because with 1 out, and sure, the Cardinals do have great hitters up after this in McKenna Mulholland and Caitlin Gibson, and of course Haley Urban. There are no guarantees we'll see any of them.
Gabby Evans gets the strike call there. You talked about being the potential, because it's getting late in the evening, 6:37 right now. We don't have the confirmed time of sunset. That will be having to be watched for. That one gets called a ball, 2-2. By the way, that wouldn't be the first time, because this would have to end in a tie if it gets too dark. The 3rd ever matchup between Ball State and Toledo, first matchup at Toledo, was a tie. That would be the 2nd time. There was nearly your foul ball. Just a little too high, just needed to climb up there.
That would have been like, I don't even know what. That would have been full-on Air Jordan trying to get that.
There you go. Just needed to jump a little bit.
I don't got those kind of hops.
You would have had to jump so high on the landing, you would have probably disconnected everything here from the impact. Gabby Evans has a big impact. Her hit is caught. How about that? It nearly wasn't, but it ends up in the hands of the 3rd baseman in Abilene. And coming up next, it is McKenna Mulholland sending Gabby Evans back to the deck. So 2 out, tie ball game. McKenna Mulholland. She had a home run earlier in game number 1. She's had a run already here today. Can she hit the grand slam to give Ball State the lead? Knight. High throw.
By the way, I did check in on confirmed sunset time, 7:55.
So highly unlikely to deal with that. But at the rate this game is going, who knows? It is 9-9. Still the bottom of the 5th. Mulholland. She won't swing there against ball 2. I mean, everybody has gone through the 9 batters so far for the Cardinals. 2nd time we've seen a few of them here in the 5th. Strike 1 for Mulholland.
That time it's right down Broadway on Mulholland. So now in a 2-1, it's kind of a clean slate in a 2-1 count. That's how I always like to view these. So now Mulholland, you can kind of reset and focus on getting the lead.
Mulholland, can she go yard? Yes, she can! That's a grand slam! McKenna Mulholland, how about that? And the Cardinals have the lead.
One swing of the bat can change everything. McKenna Mulholland has proven that a myriad of times. She just did it for a 2nd time today. The Cardinals have taken their 1st lead of the day. It is now a 13-9 ball game. Wow.
They have scored 12 runs in the 5th. You know, I'd love, this has to be a record of some kind. We will find that out certainly if we can, but man, Cardinals have the lead. Gibson is up next.
Now batting for the Cardinals, the first baseman, number 12, Caitlin Gibson.
And I mean, I want to remind you that this one was basically over. It kind of felt like that after the second inning when Toledo scores 8. It's their strike 2. But now the Cardinals have the 13-9 lead. I mean, they can't even have it on the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It overloaded it.
It says 9-2 on the scoreboard and only 1 run in the bottom of the 5th, but certainly not the case. The Cardinals are in control of their own destiny, and now we're at a point where if they can retire the next 3 batters for Toledo in the top of the 6th inning, they're 3 outs away from victory.
Which is definitely something Cardinals had hoped for if you were a Cardinals fan, but it was highly unlikely. Here comes Knight, set to throw to Gibson. And that is going to graze the knee of Gibson, so she will be hit by pitch. And we are still, by the way, in the bottom of the 5th.
Man, still, I feel like we've been here probably for the past hour, it feels like, but really it's probably been more so like a half hour. Nonetheless, man, the Cardinals making such an impact. Haley Urban up to bat yet again for her 2nd time around in this inning.
So, let's get a chance to see Haley Urban once again. I mean, it feels like every Cardinal has scored so far. When you have that 13-9 advantage that the Cardinals do. We look now to see this one. 1-1 your call. That one called ball. It was right down the middle. So, okay, it's a 2-0. And there's the strike.
So now you get that 2-1 on Urban, but still, it's very hard to throw any kind of strike on her. Knowing how patient she is, you're never really going to get a chase from Urban.
So again, still 2 out with a runner at first in Urban. 2 outs. Cardinals still in. And it should be a full count. No, it's 2-2. Word from our officials. So again, it is 13-9. Cardinals have the advantage. It's the bottom of the 5th. And now it's a full count.
The Cardinals have been so red hot in this bottom of the 5th that they broke the scoreboard.
And there is a foul. Nearly able to once again get in the grassy area behind us, but stays just barely in. But yeah, no. Looks like it's finally fixed.
There you go.
Full count, 2 out. 13-9. And that is how we end the 5th. And after a wild 5th inning, Cardinals lead this one 13-9. We will take a quick timeout. When we come back, 6th inning action here from Muncie, Indiana.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Ooh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts, right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
Welcome back to Ball State. It is Ball State versus Toledo. It is currently 13-9. Cardinals lead. My name is Max Gillie. That's Roen Elbert. Just 3 innings ago, it felt like this one was over. Now, at the top 6, Cardinals have the advantage. So we get to see Cindy Griffith back in. And after what was a very long 5th inning, we are officially now in the 6th. Strike is the call there made by the umpire. 0-1 in the count. Griffith, in case you forgot, first team All-MAC. Came into this one leading the team with 22 runs. She will ground out to Petersack. Petersack to first. And that's a 6-3 putout.
That's big for Hoffman. Now she got a cushion. You're not battling back anymore. This is more of a thing of, okay, they've got my back, okay? I've got the run support, and that has to mean a lot to her, especially now with a 4-run cushion, and you only need 5 more outs at this point.
Here comes Kendra Vanderlucht up next, the senior. Strike is the call. Originally indicated she wanted to bunt. Gets the strike instead. Does Vanderlucht. 1 out, 0-1 the count. Again, 13-9 your score here. And that's going to be a foul, ground out to left field.
And it makes you wonder, what can the Cardinals do in the bottom of the 6th inning where all of a sudden they are in the driver's seat? It makes you wonder what they could do to even further their advantage.
So again, 0-2 the count. Vanderlucht. She will hit it. Can she go over? No, but she will try and run to second. She'll stay at first. Hit it to right center. Did Vanderlucht, and she gets a run. Excuse me, a hit. So used to saying that they get runs. I have to remember.
I know. It's become a repetitive thing almost. With the amount of runs we've seen in that bottom of the 5th. 12 for the Cardinals. Now you go to Audrey Miller, who had an RBI single her last time around. Overall, she's been one of the best players on this Toledo roster throughout this weekend series.
That one right down, bit low. So 1-0 the count. This is Audrey Miller, like we mentioned, one of the few freshmen that made a big impact for Toledo. It's a pitch from Hoffman. strike. And the thing is, if you've been listening at all and you've enjoyed this high-scoring series, one more opportunity tomorrow, Roen. It probably will have something wild like this again. So there's the ground out past Peterzak. It goes to center field. So Miller will make her way to first. Vanderluck to second. Runner on first, runner on second. Here comes Samantha Bolding.
Samantha Bolding. Sorry, I was focusing on Ball State women's basketball. Hey, they're playing
right now.
Hey, right now against Ole Miss.
You know, I thought that this game was going to be over by the time that series started. It'll probably be halftime if we're lucky.
Hey, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, this has been a wild, high-scoring, highly entertaining game. I mean, it's nearly 7 o'clock right now here in central Indiana. It's been a long one. It's been a fun one. And guess what? We still got a lot of softball to go. 13-9, Samantha Bolding from Greenfield, Indiana, set to hit. Runner on first, runner on second. See what Bolding can do. Hoffman the pitch. It's going to be a strike. 0-1 is the count. For Samantha Bolding. In the 2022 Underclassmen All-American. Showing why here today. That one gets called ball. So again, Hoffman, she was not the starting pitcher, but she's been here since the second inning.
It was Bree Severino, which, again, not a great second inning that had them pull the plug on her.
And ever since then, Cardinals have only allowed 1 run, and that was in the 4th. But Rockets have a runner on second and a runner on first with Bolding with the 2-1 with only 1 out. What's Bolding going to do this time by? There's the throw. It goes foul and right in between the grandstands. I think we've seen foul balls go about everywhere they can.
But towards me, yes.
Yes. Well, hey, there was the one that was close by.
That is true. There was one right in front of us.
You just would have had to jump over the table.
Yeah, I did not feel like doing that.
See, America, I just want to point out that Roen Elbert, he had the choice. He could have gone for the ball, but he wanted to stay professional. He wanted to stay on the call for you, and that's what he did.
Everything I do for you. And we have a pinch runner for the Toledo Rockets here. We got Reese Sajom for the first time today.
And from Noblesville is Reese.
Yeah, Noblesville Miller.
And has a interesting story. Her father passed away from esophageal cancer right before her freshman year of high school. His one dream was to get to see her play. As there is the foul there from Bolding. One dream was to see her play. He passed away in the fall, but that was during COVID. So she plays for him every single game. It worked. She was able to get to Division I level and still make sure to play for him every single game.
And you'd like to believe that he is somewhere watching her pinch running right now.
Bolding hits it from third to second. And looked like there was some contact there. Ultimately, having the conversation now. Looked like someone was out.
That was the initial call on the field, too.
But now we have all three standing. It should have been out at second. And it's seeming like it is.
Yep, that's exactly what we get. I think maybe that time around, she just didn't want to go off of second base, I guess. Kind of standing her ground, maybe.
I tell you what, it's a unique strategy. And now all three umpires having a conversation. Right now, it is the top of the sixth. Cardinals lead 13-9. There's a runner on third. There's a runner on first. And this is going to be an important call. From all indications, Reese, who we just mentioned, came in as the pitch runner, should be out. That is the running theory.
And it looked like live action. That is exactly what happened.
So this is when we need the replay monitor that our friends from Chirp Vision would have, who are, of course, producing the ESPN broadcast. We thank you for choosing us over ESPN. We're so grateful you tune in to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda Muncie. Still got a stoppage in the action. A long conversation between our three umpires. And again, there have been a few moments like this where fans from one side have tried to have an argument. This is one of the first long conversations having. Some of the outfielders, they're dancing. It's looking like Savannah Bananas out here.
That's exactly what we're getting right here. The Savannah Bananas here in Muncie, Indiana. That's exactly what we're getting. We need a whole song and dance number.
That's Urban and Gunter, believe. The two outfielders there having a great time. It is still 13-9. Now both coaches having a conversation with the umpires. And to add on to what has already been a wild day, let's just have even more.
A wild's the perfect way to describe it. I don't know how else you really would.
So again, my name is Master Gillie. This is Roen Elbert. If you're enjoying this one, Roen will be back here tomorrow with Dylan Budd for Game 3. And listen, it is a must tune in because it's been wild and crazy so far today. I can only imagine what it's going to be like tomorrow.
And if you're tired of me, well, I guess it's too bad.
Well, that's fine. You got D-Bud over there, Dylan Budd.
He'll be fine. I don't know about me. He'll be fine, though.
That's right. And again, we are still having this stoppage in the action, but I guess right now it is important to look at the MAC standings because this game will have some implications. Heading into today, Ball State was in second in the Mid-American Conference. 2-1 on the year with 16-7. They are now 17-7, 3-1 in the conference. Miami's first. And Toledo tied for sixth as the umpires seem to have come to a decision. We will wait and see what that call is. Again, the running theory is that there should be a runner on third and a runner on second. So far, we see Vanderlucht brought back to second. Reese in first. And Samantha Bolding gets to hit again.
Wow, that is interesting. It's a 2-2 count. All of that. And there was never really a look at the official review. They just go ahead and reset. Only one out now here in the top of the sixth inning.
Keeping it interesting for sure. So, 2-2 the count, one out, and I guess the officials having a conversation again. As it stands right now, we see the 55 of Samantha Bolding. back to hit. In case you forgot, we are still in the middle of a softball game. It is 13-9, top of the 6th. 2-2 the count with 1 out. And Hoffman set to pitch to Samantha Bolding. It's now 7 o'clock, and we are still out here. 2-2 is the count. Again, now the watch to see how dark it's going to be. No lights. Slow pitch from Hoffman. Makes it a full count. Runner on second. Runner on first. Rockets trail by 4. Top of the 6th. Still got a lot of softball left in this one. Here comes Hoffman. Ready for the throw. Swing and a miss.
Now they're saying ball 4. They walked her.
Well, looks like, according to the umpire, they are going to walk her, as you just brought up. Keeping it interesting. So, bases are going to be loaded at this point. By the way, there was, I guess, a change at the catcher position. That's very much not Michaela Timmons.
Yeah, that is Gabby Evans right there. Timmons, second time today she's been checked out. I find that pretty interesting. Hopefully everything's all right health-wise if they're maybe giving their star catcher a bit of a breather.
So, coming up next, it is the catcher for the Rockets, Maris Barbado, the senior. I know it's been a while since we've been able to really say her name because it's been a while since we've really seen softball action. Bases loaded. Chance to keep this one tied. Barbado has no home runs this year. That's a low pitch, ball 1 from Hoffman. Barbado came into this series only with 3 runs and was hitting .255. So this could be a career moment for her. Barbado. There's the strike. So 1-1 is the count. Top of the 6th. So 13-9 advantage, Ball State. Game 2 of the day for this home opener and family weekend here in Muncie. Another low pitch. 2-1 is the count. So again, runners on all bases. First, second, third. Hoffman to pitch. And that is a low one, so 3-1. Barbado out here hitting. It's 3-1. In case you were wondering, and you couldn't see the umpire, just know that the Toledo bench was also chanting that it's 3-1. So that one is high. That'll be a walk. And there is a run for the Rockets. Kendra Vanderlucht. She is able to score. Reese transitions to third base. Bolding makes her way to second. Barbado gets walked to first. Madison McKay is out here now. And Helen Pena having a conversation now with Hoffman. And again, if you're just now joining us, it is 13-10. That is the score. Scoreboard hasn't been updated.
I have to note that I'm looking in the bullpen for the Cardinals, and I see Ella Whitney, who started game 1, and pitched the entirety of game 1 for the Cardinals, for that matter. She's warming up for Ball State. We could see her going to close it out. Yep, and that is exactly what we're going to get. Out goes Hoffman, in comes Whitney.
And Hoffman, she'd only come in here pitching 1 inning. She's now pitched 4 innings as Hoffman out of Chicago, Illinois. Even though she has given up some of those runs, she has had some good outs right now. But now it is time for the ace in a close ball game with bases loaded and a chance for Toledo to tie. Ball State has decided Ella Whitney is the answer. So we will see how this goes.
And with Ella Whitney coming in with a 3-run lead for the Cardinals, if she closes it out for Ball State, it would be a save for Ella Whitney, which is quite interesting considering that she is a starting pitcher for the team.
I mean, she came into this one having 10 wins. So she has 11 on the season now. 11-1 is her record. Has a chance to get, as you mentioned, the save. Here's Ella Whitney. From Martinsville, Indiana is Ella Whitney. Graduated of Martinsville High School. Spent time at FIU for 2 years. Made her way to Muncie. And if you are tuning into softball for maybe the first time, I think we can say, Roen, this is not how a typical softball doubleheader would go.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, you just don't see this much scoring, period, let alone in both games. And also the comeback from the Cardinals to put up 12 runs in the bottom of the 5th. And this top of the 6th has gone just as long. Not because of any kind of scoring. Well, Toledo has tacked on 1 run in this top of the 6th inning. It's because of a pitcher change and a long, lengthy umpire review.
So as it stands right now, there is 1 out. It is 13-10. And Ella Whitney sets a pitch. And the big thing to note here, bases are loaded. Grand Slam would give the lead to Toledo. We saw one earlier to get Ball State in the lead. Can it happen again?
And you do have to remember, too, the Cardinals are 5 outs away from putting the Rockets to bed and sweeping the doubleheader. However, they got to get business done tomorrow as well, right here at Ball State Softball Stadium at 1 o'clock.
Madison McKay is ready to pitch. Ella Whitney, she has the pitch. McKay ready to hit. Here we go. That one should be ball. It's low. And it is ball 1. Let's see what Whitney can do this time by. Whitney, strike.
Just what the doctor ordered right there. Bringing a bit of heat right there, right down the middle. Pretty interesting location with the pitch. Let's see how McKay can respond for Toledo.
Whitney, 1-1 the count. That one goes high. 2-1.
On deck for Toledo, you do have Maloney, who has been pretty solid all the way around in this series. So watch out for Eliza Maloney on deck for the Rockets.
Also has a lot of speed, does Maloney. It's another throw. It's low, makes it 3-1. Yeah, bases are loaded, so if a Rocket is walked, that's another run given to Toledo. It's only down to 3-point difference now, 13-10. There's the strike, makes it a full count, does Ella Whitney. And let's see what Ella Whitney does this time by. Whitney gets the throw. McKay gets that one foul.
3-2. This is a big pitch. After McKay, like we mentioned, Eliza Maloney and then Peyton Aberle due up for the Rockets. So then what you see from Toledo is some pretty solid bats in the bottom of the order that you do not want to face, especially in such a tight contested ball game.
And we have another stoppage as they had to change out the softball, making it still a full count. 1 out, bases loaded. Ella Whitney set to pitch. Still batting is McKay. There's the throw. McKay, left center. It is up. It is gone. Oh my! Madness continues here in Muncie. Grand slam for McKay, her first home run of the year. And it's a grand slam.
You can't write this, Max. You can't make this up. How does this happen? What a back and forth contest. We are witnessing an instant classic with the combined 27 runs scored between both of these teams, and we're not even scratching the surface. Oh my goodness.
This is gonna be one of those when you look back at the record books and it's gonna say like highest scoring matchup between these two. 27 points. And oh, by the way, this is the top of the 6th. We still have Ball State on deck, and we still have the 7th inning. We are still going, man, oh man. Another grand slam. Here comes Maloney. Maloney, she won't swing. Low pitch makes it 1-0.
None of these Cardinal pitchers, whether it's Hoffman or Whitney, can throw a strike right now. It's got to be frustrating, but still, don't try and paint the zone. This time, you got to go with what you find can get you a strike easiest.
And Whitney gets the strike there. Wanted something the easiest. That's what she found. So right now it is 14-13, advantage to Kent State. Excuse me, Toledo. On the count. Here comes Whitney. So again, that will be another low throw to make it a ball. If you're just now joining us, Max Gillie, Roen, Elbert here. We are still top of the 6th. Here for game 2 of a doubleheader. Whitney tries to skip that one, makes it a 3-1. 1 out. And let's see what Whitney can do. So again, it is now the advantage to Toledo with, oh, by the way, 2 outs to give. Toledo hitting it, left field. Maloney makes her way to first. She will stay.
Do you remember when I mentioned that 7:55 sunset? Well, it's 7:13 now. And remember, it wouldn't be exactly right at sunset, but that's when the clock would kind of start to tick on this game. And it would be an umpire decision on when it's too dark for this game to continue.
Like I mentioned, it wouldn't be the first time in this series they've had to have what would probably end, if it ends up being a tie, it wouldn't be the first time. There it was Aberle. She gets a foul. Cardinals can't get their hands on it.
Yeah, Gabby Evans so close yet so far to getting a hold of that ball for the Cardinals. But now 0-1 at the count for the 9-hole hitter in Aberle, who walked the last time around. Let's see here what Whitney can go with already in an 0-1.
So Whitney changing the pitch. Here we go. It's foul. 1-1. It's caught low. So going to runner on first is Maloney. Toledo leads this one by 1 run, 14-13. Bottom of the 6th. Whitney. Pitch number 3. Should be a strike. Calls it a ball.
Apparently, the home plate umpire disagrees with your judgment.
He has the better view.
That is very true. He is right there.
Thought it was inside, umpire says. Out of the strike zone. He made the right call. Whitney. Another low one makes it 3-1. So Eliza Maloney currently on first base. Abilene currently up to bat. Still Cardinals only have 1 out here and still got the 6th inning. That one fouled left side. So full count. Ball State University. And again, it is Friday night, and it is getting close to being able to say we're in night now. I mean, it is 7 o'clock.
Yeah, Friday night is, what is it, Time for Fighting? Is that a song?
That's right. Thought it was Elton John. We've reached this point where we can't remember things. Here is Abilene. It is caught by Whitney. So it has felt like a while, but there is a out by Toledo. So that is Whitney able to get this one.
But things are not going to get easier for Whitney. You have to face Eli Enriquez, who has been unreal all day for Toledo. Last time around, she grounded out to first base. All in all, in this game, she is 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs.
So let's see what Enriquez can do.
11 is also re-entering.
Attention fans, re-entering at shortstop, number 7,
Ellie Enriquez. With 2 outs and a runner on first, let's see what Ellie can do this time by. And there is pitch outside, makes it 1 out. Top of the 6th. It has been back and forth for sure in this one. 14-13. Still in the 6th inning. Another low throw. So 2-0 is the count. Ellie Enriquez. You mentioned 2 for 4 here in this game alone. She will probably end up leading off tomorrow, and when she does, she will for sure have a lot of speed, as she has done all day today. Enriquez. She is going to hit it to center field. It's caught. How about that? And the Cardinals are going to end the 6th inning. They allow 5 runs. They leave 1 runner on base. But it is 14-13. It feels like it's been a while since we started that one. But all right, Roen, let's put your coach hat on. If you're Coach Pena, what's the conversation?
Right now, you're looking at the Cardinal lineup. You have mainly the bottom of the order due up. You have Louth in the 8-hole, Weaver in the 9. However, there is a chance you can see that top of the order for Ball State yet again. So I think it's a matter of, hey, 14-13, you're down now to 6 outs. This has to be the most aggressive version of the Cardinals that we've seen all year, and I highly anticipate that's what we're going to get. If it's anything like we got in the bottom of the 5th, oh, we are in for a treat, my friend. And look at this, Knight out of the game, and checking back in is the original pitcher, Graham.
All right. You know what? Keep it interesting. That's what Toledo has decided to do. So, again, this is Kylie Graham in for the Rockets. So we will have to wait and get this thing started once again. As Mandy Loth starts this one off. In the 6th inning out of Avon, Indiana is Loth. Wearing 00.
the thing about Law, I've watched her game all the way back since high school, and what I can tell you is she'll provide power, and she'll provide power at the best times.
So again, it is the bottom of the 6th. Cardinals need a run to tie it, 2 runs to lead it. Will it be Mandy Loth? Sounded like she was kung fu fighting.
Ooh.
Now it's the fun game. Do I know the walkout music? 1-0 is the count there. That pitch from Graham far out. So it will make it 1-0. And it doesn't seem like the Toledo defense anticipates her to hit it very far. They're all inching closer and closer.
That's a mistake. I will tell you that. They are playing in, yes, but Louth is someone that could change the trajectory of a ball game with one swing of the bat.
Loth has it right now. 3-0 is the count. And again, Graham, it's been a little while since we've been able to say her name. She was subbed out, was brought back in. But we will see. Can that help the Rockets? That's going to be a walk there for Loth. Maddie Weaver comes up next. It will be Weaver, Petersack, and Timmons. Your next 3 due up.
Yeah, that's huge for the Cardinals to have a top of the order situation now with runners aboard.
Weaver doesn't need to swing there. That one's low, ball 1.
With Louth on first, you know that Ball State can make this very interesting. We know that Maddie Weaver has a pretty underrated bat, I would say. She is 2 for 3 today.
Weaver won't swing again.
I think for both of these teams, it goes without saying that they want to get this game in. And by in, there's no inclement weather coming. They want to get this to a point where they don't have to shut this down and potentially play the rest of it tomorrow. And have tomorrow be a doubleheader as well because of a lack of light.
So after this game, it is supposed to be post-game autographs for Kids Family Weekend. I don't know if that's going to happen. Because
come on, be a little optimistic about that.
It's going to get close to being dark. But you never know.
Well, they'll put a flashlight on it.
There
I
we
don't
go.
know.
We can do that. Just send them to the football field. Just have everyone walk over there where they have the lights. Or we can do old school and just have the car lights on.
Or they could just come up to the booth right now, get autographs from Roen, Elbert, and Max Gillie.
That's right. That's what America wants. It's 2-0 is the count. Weaver is ready to go. There was a short meeting at the mound. The coaches. Strike is the call there.
Yeah, finally Graham's able to find the strike zone. It's been frustrating. It makes you wonder why Toledo went back out with her when command was the issue previously. But now Graham looking to prove them wrong.
Graham is going to get another pitch in there. And it's called ball. So 3-1. It's just a little bit high. That's what the umpire deems. Let's see what Graham can do this time by with Maddie Weaver. Weaver won't swing. She'll get walked. So Weaver will make it to first. Loth will make it to second. Here comes Petersack. It's Petersack, Timmons, Whitney.
Back to the top of the order.
The next 3. So again, it's 14-13 advantage to Toledo. Petersack won't swing there. She gets a strike call.
And this is interesting. On deck pinch hitting would be Ashley Lovett for Ball State.
I think that's her first time.
Yes, that would be. Yeah, that's her first time.
How about it? So again, it is 14-13, 1-1 the call by the umpire. Peterzak getting ready to go. Runner on second, runner on first. Let's see what happens this time by. Ends up going high. It's called ball, so 2-1 the count.
You have to remember, though, that Ashley Lovett's coming up, hasn't played all season. That's where the most unlikely of heroes arise.
Tell you what, she is really talented. There's a lot of speed, heck of a hitter. Cardinals are going to be happy to have her out here. Now the important question, will she be walked? Probably not, because that would end up being the tie game. But she is someone who can hit a home run. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, yeah, she certainly can.
Graham. So again, 3-2 is the count. This is still Maya Peterzak out there. Again, we are still at the bottom of the sixth. We still got more softball to play.
Oh, plenty of it.
So thank you for tuning in. Whether you've been here from the beginning or just now joining us, we are so grateful. Peterzak, she's going to hit it to center field. Cardinals thought that we were going to have her safe. No. Peterzak makes her way to first. Loth makes her way to third. Weaver looked like she was going to be safe. The umpire calls out. So now there is a runner on first and a runner on third. Ashley Lovett makes her way for the first time here today out of Colorado. Again, as we mentioned, first time all year she has seen action. No better time to do it. Game on the line. She calls bunt.
And that's exactly what I think she's in here for, was for Peterzak to advance her from first to second if the situation came down to it. But right now, in an 0-1 count, you're in a situation with Lovett where you're losing Michaela Timmons. She's chances are not going to be in the rest of this game. That's what it appears to be, because this would likely be her final at-bat anyway. You're kind of playing from behind at that point already. Then you're already down. You're down by 1 at this point. So now, Lovett in an 0-1 count. The umpires are meeting, by the way, at the third baseline. Not exactly sure what the reasoning is.
Good news, all three are meeting now.
I heard a fan yell, "No more meetings."
Keeping this one interesting for sure. Because Coach Bracamonte having a conversation with our home plate umpire. So, still have Graham back in the pitch. At the circle, here we go. Runner on third, runner on second. What's going to happen this time by? That one gets a little outside. 1-1 is the call.
That time, Lovett, she wasn't showing bunt like the previous. She's going to swing. She's got 2 in scoring position after Peterzak stole. This is huge.
Ashley Lovett. Can she help the Cardinals get the lead? She grounds it to first. It can't go to second. We got a Cardinal going home. It's Loftus going home. Cardinals tie it up. A runner is now on third. And even though Lovett is out, Loftus able to score. Peterzak is on third. She is not afraid to steal home. And Ella Whitney's up next.
What happened on that play, what we saw was a line out to first on Lovett, right into the glove. Over at first on the first base side of McKay for the Rockets. sends it to second, trying to get the quick double play to put an end to the bottom of the 6th. But the throw got away, allowing Mandy Louth to come in full steam ahead to home. Now we have a tie ball game. Although the sack fly out of play, you do have a runner on third with Ella Whitney up to bat and Gabby Evans on deck for the Cardinals. So right now for Ball State, priority number 1 has to be try to get through that tough Toledo infield to get any kind of contact into the outfield with a grounder. I think that's what you're going to get from Whitney here.
So Ella Whitney up to bat once again. Again, it is a tie ball game. Only the bottom of the 6th. Ball State, it's Ella Whitney. 2 outs, strike 1.
On that inside part of the plate, it's pretty hard to be disciplined when you see something like that that's right on the edge, especially with 2 outs right now. But Whitney being disciplined.
Whitney, she's going to hit it a shortstop. Peterzak will score, but it wasn't in time. Peterzak did get home, but Whitney was declared out before she was able to score. So that would mean that Gabby Evans will be up next for Ball State. Tie ball game. So we are going to get ready for the top of the 7th. You've been listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Welcome back to Ball State Softball Stadium. We are still here. We are still rocking. And it's the top of the 7th inning. My name is Maxwell Gillie. He is Roen Elbert. And all right, Roen, tie ball game, 14-all. Can you expect anything, or do you just expect more chaos?
I'm done making predictions, Max. I think I'll just be wrong in the end.
Here comes Sydney Griffith. Bit close for comfort with that throw. Ball 1 is the call.
It's an interesting choice from Pena to go back to your starter on the day from Game 1. Game 2, they've used 3 different pitchers, which is very rare. You don't see that very often, but it's not very often you see 14 runs in 5 innings for a team like Toledo.
So again, 2-0 is the count. Top of the 7th. Again, this still is Sydney Griffith.
You have to know what you're dealing with here with Griffith. She was All-MAC first team last year.
Griffith, she gets strike 1.
That one was right down the middle. That's about as perfect of a strike you can get right there from Ella Whitney. Now in a 2-1 count, I kind of view a 2-1 count as a clean slate for both the pitcher and the batter.
Whitney, the throw, fouls up and over the dugout once more on right field. So 2-2 is the count, top of the 7th, tie ball game 14-14, Ball State versus Toledo.
By the way, yeah, the sun sets in about 20 minutes. that could be an issue considering there are no lights here.
You know, it's not the first game I've had end with no lights. 5-3 put out there. We'll retire one Toledo Rocket.
Now, I'm not making an assumption. I don't know what the final decision would be, but you would think that with a game tomorrow that they would just make tomorrow a doubleheader and then they resume this game tomorrow. But we haven't gotten to that point, and it's not a guarantee that we will. But still, you have to think about it.
Kendra Vanderlucht coming up next. Whitney gets to throw right down the middle. Ball one because it went just a bit too low. So 1-0, one out. Top of the 7th. 14 all. Whitney fouls that one up and over the visiting grandstand. So 1-1 is the count here. With one out, Rockets have a chance to get the lead. Rockets heave it to left field. That is up, that is caught. And that was Gunter, who used to be out there. Now
Ashley Lovett. Ashley Lovett has taken her place. She's right next to center field Haley Urban. Funny enough, Lovett and Urban, they are roommates.
All right. That makes it fun.
Oh, yeah.
Helps with chemistry, and you need chemistry when you're in the outfield.
That's why they're out there dancing in left center earlier.
So Whitney will throw her first pitch. That will be called a ball. And again, back in the action, this is Audrey Miller. Miller is one of the many Rockets who has scored at least once here today. Pitch 2. Whitney. Right field. It goes over right field and first base. So just like right in the sweet spot. No Cardinal was able to get it. And that will be Miller who makes it to first.
That was interesting. You see in right field, it gets right in front of Weaver. There was a chance that she was trying to throw out Miller at first base, but Gibson was a little bit off of the bag.
Samantha Boulding, of course, on deck. See what she can do this time by Boulding, a freshman. Ball goes far right. Should be called a ball. So 1-0 the call. Runner on first. 2 outs. Let's see what Boulding can do. That one is low. So 2 out. Estelle Whitney still at the circle. And she's the third pitcher we have seen in this game today. Did a complete game number 1.
That arm's got to be tired. I hope she gets a good rest in before tomorrow's 1 o'clock action.
And here is the hit. It is caught by Mulholland. So we will stay tied here at the top of the 7th. So that is going to end this one with Miller left on base, 3 outs. Now it is up to the Ball State Cardinals. And what are they going to be able to do?
Yep, it's all about trying to walk it off for the Cardinals. Gabby Evans due up, so the 3 up for Ball State, presumably, because we don't know what kind of pinch hitting alterations they're going to go with. We've seen quite a few today. Gabby Evans, McKenna Mulholland, and Caitlin Gibson. That seems to be what they're going to go with.
We will have to wait and see. Right now it is tied at 14. 14-14. Game 2. Game 1 was 13-8. And I think I can speak for both of us. We were like, oh, that's going to be the highlight. That's going to be the high-scoring game that we're going to see this year. Nope. 14-14. Cardinals, they need one run to walk it off and win it.
Gabby Evans, all she needs is one swing of the bat to send the Cardinals home. And now, going into tomorrow, for both teams, it's all about going into tomorrow's matchup at 1 o'clock with more momentum than the other. And both of these teams are putting up a myriad of runs.
So let's see what Gabby Evans can do this time by Mulholland on deck. Again, we have hit the bottom of the 7th. Gabby Evans just staring at Mulholland. Just showing all of her best dance moves.
Yeah, her, Timmons, really, we saw Urban and Lovett out in the outfield earlier. That's what we've seen all day.
Here is the throw from Graham.
That was a good check swing right there from Evans on the top half. Barely keeping that one in check, so I guess we begin 1-0.
She mentioned 1-0 is the call. Huge pitch to. It's high, should be 2.
That was another good check swing from Gabby Evans. That would have been in on the hands, would have likely been fouled off, which you can't afford to give up any bad strike calls like that.
Here's 3. Evans to left center. It is at the wall. Evans will stay at first. And Mulholland, she's up next. Crowd here's getting excited.
Remember, she had the game-winning play to end game 1 with the double play that she turned all by herself at second base. Looking to have the game-winning play in game 2 potentially.
She's had her viral moment today. Can she find another? Runner on first. Tie ball game, bottom of the 7th. Mulholland swings. 0-1.
Fouling that right behind her. She's got the good contact on it. Nonetheless, though, we continue 0-1 to her. On deck for Ball State after that, you got Caitlin Gibson and Haley Urban all due up with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Cardinals trying to win it here.
Some good hitters coming up. Again, no outs. The runner on first. 0-2 the count for Mulholland. Can she have another magical moment? Graham. Here's her pitch. Holland won't swing. Makes it 1-2.
Really good eye right there from Mulholland. Right on the outside edge. A lot of undisciplined hitters will have gone for that. Very disciplined that time from Mulholland.
1-2 is the count. Runner on first, bottom of the 7th. Should be 2-2, and it is. We are getting close to the 10-minute mark until it's expected for sunset. Mulholland, she's going to hit it to second. Rockets try and get a double play, and they do.
Wow, a 4-6-3. Griffith to Enriquez, all the way back to McKay. What an insane infield, in-seek play from the Toledo Rockets.
And it is up to Caitlin Gibson. Game on the line. Bottom of the 7th. 2 outs. Gibson, a run, wins it all. Gibson hits to right field. It is caught.
Extra innings is what we are getting here at Ball State Softball Stadium. You can't make this up. Wow.
So this game that nearly started at 4:28.
Score is tied at 14.
It's now tied after 7.
And yeah, we got both coaches and the umpires meeting together. They know what's at stake here. They know that the lights are not here. They know that it is going to get dark very soon. So they're trying to deal with the intimate, what is coming very soon.
And now comes the fun part of they're not going to probably go out and tell us. So we're going to have to wait until we get official word from our PA announcer, Brad Claudel. Also happens to be the SID. Got to give him, as well as Mick Tidrow, credit.
Yeah, got to give them their flowers.
All of them have, Mick made sure that we'd be able to get this game done out here. And then Brad, for all the work that he does with athletics, made sure that we had everything that we would need here today. He's made sure that we've been getting starters and stats and all that. So we need to make sure we can give the athletic department their flowers while we have that opportunity. Again, it is 14-14. We have the opportunity to go to an 8th inning. The question is, will that happen today?
We may have to wait another 24 hours until, and it wouldn't exactly be 24 hours, obviously. We may have to wait a little bit more time until we see that. But currently 14-14 our score. Umpires are convening with the coaches. Sunset 7:55, current time 7:46, which would mean, hey, if you play another inning, there's no guarantee that you're going to finish said inning.
Looks like we have a decision. We wait for whatever the call is going to be.
And the teams are all huddling up.
Attention fans, thank you for joining us today. Today's second game has been suspended.
Okay, a suspended game.
It's over.
At 1 o'clock tomorrow.
All right, so they're going to get this at 1 o'clock tomorrow then.
Finale following the conclusion of
So they're going to finish this one tomorrow. We will have the series finale right after that.
In addition,
Roen, it is 14-14. Heck of a ball game, but we are going to have to continue this tomorrow. So Roen, real quick, before we end this one, what were your thoughts on what has been just a wild game?
Wow, that's a really good question. And I think my thoughts on this is unpredictable, insane. There's not much more I can say about this game. And the fact that we get to continue it tomorrow, I'm very grateful for that.
So you and Dylan Budd will have the call of this one tomorrow. Right back here, SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda Muncie. Again, 1 p.m. tomorrow. Come back, finish this one, and oh boy, we got another one tomorrow. So, for Roen Elbert, my name is Maxwell Gillie, and it is 14-14, tie ball game. We will see you tomorrow night here on SL Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.